Welcome to the 8672 podcast. I'm Chris.
It's Wise. Peace.
What's this? Episode 11. Episode 11.
Once.
Episode
Mi
11.
nombre es Suavito.
So getting into going towards 20 now. But another week, another conversation. How was your week?
Week was good.
Week was good. My week was good too. Only thing that was whack was it rained on Sunday, so DFSL had to postpone opening day. So this week we'll have our first game. Weather looking good for Sunday. So looking forward to getting the kids out there, having them play some ball, spring football, spring flag football. So that should be fun.
That's what's up. Hopefully I can get out there and see them come out the tunnel.
Well, don't nobody know that's out there yet.
Oh, my bad.
Doesn't nobody know.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, it's gonna be got some nice things in store.
What's it? They won't see it. It won't be out before y'all go out there.
The audio will.
Oh, that's right. So edit it out the audio and leave it in for the video.
I don't know. We'll see. But
Well, then you might as well start it over.
I ain't gonna start over. Speaking of football though, you been keeping up with Deshaun Watson?
Son, I thought it was a scam in the very beginning. I still do, but it is what it is. And, you know, it's just bugged out because they're getting ready to railroad this dude, you know what I'm saying? And, like I said, you got, this could go so many ways with me, you know what I mean? Because you got that, the actor, producer Woody Allen, who they showing another one of his daughters, not the one he married, another one talked about how she was touched by him and all that, and ain't nobody saying nothing about it. So all this stuff to me, man, is just bugged out. You know, so you know he wanted out. You never heard nothing about this until he said he wanted out of Houston. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden you got about 20-something women coming out saying they, a serial fondler or some crazy shit.
Well, like the stuff that, and this is like from what I've seen, not 100% sure because we're only subject to the things that's being reported, but from what I've seen is like he's exposed himself and put like his privates on them. I don't know, like, so I mean, and that is enough. But if he did that, that is enough.
Get him out of here.
But yeah, that's what I've seen.
Nah, that ain't funny, but
nah,
if he did that, it ain't funny. And I got daughters, so people that know me know I got daughters, and I'll be highly upset if a dude did that to mine. But you know,
the one story was crazy because the one girl, she came through with a description of her encounter with him, and she wasn't even looking. I don't think she even filed a suit. She was one of the people who didn't. But like the whole description of the joint was just crazy. He sounds nuts in the story.
Yeah, but
like,
my whole thing is this: what I want to see is the timeline.
No,
the original report was filed. Was it filed before he came out saying he wanted out of Houston?
No, but what I'm saying is she didn't file a report.
No, I understand what you're saying about her. What I'm saying, these other women saying they want to file a lawsuit and all of this stuff. When did all of this come about? Did it
that all came about after he said that.
Then, so
but
that's a fugazi because
I agree with you. The timing is convenient. Like the timing is very convenient, especially with the fact of like the organization is real quiet about the entire situation too. But the timing is definitely what makes it eerie. Like you like.
But they said the first couple of women lived by the owner.
Yeah, but I mean I can't. I said yeah, but I didn't see that. I don't know that. But the timing is makes it seem crazy. because you got all this stuff going on with him and the organization. They're coming out saying he's our quarterback. He follows that up with, I'm not playing for y'all. They get a new coach. He talks about how he looks forward to working with him. Has a conversation with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson tells him, I'm not playing. That this hasn't changed my feelings. And then shortly after all of that, you got all of these allegations coming out. The thing that sucks for him, though, and I'll say this by saying, like, in these situations, I'm not saying it happened or it didn't happen. As someone, I got a daughter too, and I have nieces. Like he just said, he got daughters. So I'm real sensitive to how females are treated in that regard, and them being respected. So I don't want this to be taken out of context. But what I will say is, like, what you're saying, like everything we've ever heard about Deshaun Watson has always been positive, right? None of this stuff comes out until he expresses that he doesn't want anything to do with the Houston Texans organization anymore. And then the fact, the type of suits that these were, they're done in a manner that if it's proven that these women are lying, they won't get any legal like blowback from that. So that's kind of weird to me too, because if it happened, you should pursue to the full extent.
If it happened, they not. See, the thing about it is, the ones that I know, it's all civil suits.
Right, that's what I mean. Civil suits, there's no legal blowback if it's proven if you're lying.
They just won't get no money.
Right.
But to play devil's advocate, the way this is all playing out, make it look like two ways. Either the organization appointing these women here because he said he won out, or he knew this shit was going to come out and he
wanted to get
out of it. So, you know what I mean? It's a bugged out situation, you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't know, but it got to play out, and you got to see what happens. But, you know, I don't see him saying too much, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's probably, to be for the best, to be honest, and his legal representation is probably who's telling him not to say nothing. Because that story that she described, that thing was crazy. You didn't read the story?
Nah, man, because, like I said, I look at it like this. A lot of this shit I don't be wanting to hear because I don't care who you are. When you got a dude like Woody Allen that been doing this kind of stuff, nobody's saying nothing, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. It's you're going after certain people for whatever reason, but this dude married his adopted daughter. He's married to his legal daughter.
Nah, I get what you're saying. I'm not condoning that at all.
And he was having sex with her while he was married to his wife, you know what I mean, while this girl was young, allegedly. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Then you
But I don't think you can, like, and when I say this, I'm saying I agree with you, like, the coverage is not the same, but I don't think you can, that still doesn't invalidate this situation.
No, I'm not saying it don't. I'm saying when you got this kind of stuff going on, you know what I'm saying, and you watch it over and over and over again, and you go after some people, but some people you dismiss it.
Yeah,
because it don't invalidate the situation, but that becomes
not invalidate, justify. That's what it comes across as.
It don't justify him doing what he did. You know what I'm saying? And if they wrong, it don't justify them lying on. But at the same time, now that's news that I'm gonna watch to see where it come from and what the angle is being taken. What angle is being taken as far as to try and, you know, assassinate his character. You know what I'm saying? No matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just this to me, these situations, the way they get covered and the way they be, you know, prosecuted or whatever you want to say, it's like, let's throw a dart against the wall, let's throw some paint against the wall and see where it lands, and let's just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's we know the judicial system ain't fair, but at the same time, none of this makes sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think it makes sense to most people. But my point in the matter is the small, like, there is still a chance that it is true.
No,
right?
that's why I
So
said I look
like,
at it from both ways.
Yeah, so like
Either
that's why
the
I
owner
say
and the team has something to do with this. You know what I'm saying? Because of the time frame that it came out, or he knew that he been doing this and it was getting out of control. So I need to be out of here before this gets blown out of proportion.
My heart wants this to be a lie, wants it to be a lie, because I like if this stuff is true, he may be done.
That goes to show you can't give nobody the benefit of the doubt because you really don't know nobody.
That's not true. I definitely don't agree with that.
But you said your heart wanted to be not true because of what you heard about him personally. You don't.
Yeah,
you
but
don't
I'm just saying
nobody personally.
I didn't say that, but I don't think that. But me and you don't agree on that. I'm gonna still give you the benefit of the doubt. That's just like saying you're not gonna respect somebody until you know they were gonna respect you. That's not the way I live my life. Like I'm going to give you respect until you show me why I shouldn't give it to you. That's giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. Like I'm not gonna come up to you.
We ain't gotta go back to that. I'm telling you right now, my heart feels like this. If he did it, he should be punished to the full extent of the law.
Yeah.
If he didn't, then whatever he could take, recourse he could take, you know what I'm saying, to not only just clear his name, you know what I'm saying, to get back at them in some kind of way, which is legally, I'm sure it's a way that he can get back at them too. He's just not going to get monetarily reimbursed like they would get reimbursed on, you know, because he got more money than him.
Yeah, no. What I was saying is, like, in my heart, I hope it's not true because of, like, the promise that he has from a career standpoint, who he can be, like, what he can do from a professional standpoint in his field and where that could take him on and off the field. So, like, because if this is true, his career is over. Like, that's why, like, I hope that this is a lie. But from a personal standpoint, the damage really has already been done. Even if it's proven that this is not true, if these women lied, a lot of, in the court of public opinion, a lot of the damage has already been done. Like, when you got stories like the woman wrote that I'm referencing, and like they talking about like he's laying on the massage table with no towel, he requested to not have no towel, and he's like humping the air and stuff like that, and ejaculating on himself. Like, that stuff is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if, like, let's just say like that's the extent of it, he didn't touch nobody, nothing like that. Like, even that's enough to. It's just if nothing else, it's embarrassing. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's why I said the damage has already been done.
I disagree with you that his career will be over. You got other dudes that did worse and still play.
I understand that, but the reason why I say his career is over is because as the black quarterback in the NFL doesn't get the opportunity to be anything less than the star. So you don't look at the black quarterback. They're either starters or they're out of the league for the most part. Like you don't get too many of them with the opportunity to be like, I'm going to be a career backup. You got some of them that are backups right now, but if you went down the line, there's a lot more that could be backups, if not starters in the NFL that are not playing right now.
I disagree.
What?
If this was an older era in the sport, I would agree, because they wasn't giving them the opportunity to show their talent. Right now, that's not true. The black quarterback is showing.
You're talking about the starter. I'm talking about the guy.
I'm saying period. Look at Jameis Winston. His career would have been over.
No, not necessarily.
Yes, a couple of years ago, let me say a decade, maybe 2 decades ago and back, his career would have been over that lobster tail nonsense. His career would have been over.
He was in college.
And it don't matter. He wouldn't have never got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got in the league, they said he was a head case. He wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be where he at now as a backup, and now has a chance to be a starter. That wouldn't have happened.
How many black quarterbacks are backups in the NFL right
now? Jacoby Brissett.
Jameis Winston.
No, he's gonna be a starter now.
I'm just saying, he was a backup last year.
Taylor.
That's it.
I'm not sure. I gotta look.
I believe that's it. You got 3 backup quarterbacks out of 32 teams. You can't tell me that there's not another. Like, let me go through some of the backups that we've seen.
See, that's a topic for another day. As far as because we get off topic of what you said. I don't think his career would be over because.
Nah, we're not getting off topic. I'm using that to explain why I think his career will be over. It's because if this happens, the Houston Texans.
Them dudes are not
Let me finish my statement.
in the league for
But let me finish.
like that.
What I'm saying to you, what I'm saying is, I'm explaining why I said what I said. So what I'm saying is, if this situation came out to be true, Houston Texans are not going to keep him on the roster, so they're going to cut big, right? So in order for him to be on another team, somebody's going to have to pick him up. Nobody's going to pick him up to be the face of their franchise with all of this going on. And nobody's going to pick him up to be on their squad as a backup with the amount of media coverage, that's negative media coverage that's going to come from with him as a backup quarterback. It's just not worth it. So that's why I said he would be out of the league. And then it becomes a situation not for the same reasons, but very similar to Colin Kaepernick and why he didn't get another opportunity. Because if you had an organization, one, he could be a starter in the NFL. Two, if the organization was going to bring him in and be a backup, he's going to get more media coverage than their starter, and you don't want your backup quarterback to cause that kind of media coverage.
I totally disagree, and this is why.
All right.
If you've been watching this situation, you got analysts right now saying teams are still calling to get him to be the face of their franchise. The only reason why they're not willing to give up all the things that the Texans want is because they're worried about what the suspension is going to be and what they got to give up for him.
Right, so you prove my point. I'm talking about if it's proven that he's a I'm not talking about allegations. I'm talking about proving that it's right.
Listen, what I'm saying to you is you said that they would not want that exposure. A lot of people in this league are not looking at what he did in the exposure. They're looking at it. If that's the case, people would be like, yo, he needs to be out the league right now. There would be a discussion. They would be talking about him possibly not playing, period. The teams are
still a benefit of the doubt.
Listen, no. Teams are still actively worrying about how long, if it's true. This is what I heard the other day. If it's true, how long is the league going to suspend him for?
Yeah, I heard that.
Period. So that's telling you that ain't nobody looking at, do they want him to be the face of their franchise? It's obvious they want him to because they want to know if this is true, how long will he be suspended and the capital that I got to give up to get him?
This is why I don't be trusting everything that they say on TV all the time. Because these same people that saying that were the same people that told us that he was going to be a New York Jet in a matter of days.
No,
so I'm just saying, so what I'm saying is, a lot of this stuff is just people
you gotta
guessing.
realize, hold on.
Right.
Certain people do have insight in the league, and they know what they be talking about. And sometimes but they listen. I understand what you're saying, but if I got insight on something that I can't bring to the forefront until it comes out in the public, I'm not gonna say that. Yes, it could have been a situation where the Jets was going to make that deal, and then the Jets got inside information on, yo, this is coming down the pike, so you might not want to come up with all this capital and give it to him, because then he's going to be suspended maybe half a year, and then you done gave up all that.
But what I'm saying to you is, you're right in saying that, but what I'm saying, that same insider that you're talking about you trust now said something else previously, and we trusted that, and it didn't happen. Irregardless of what if they was insider like you said, they would know what the Jets.
Hold on. No, because I'm gonna tell you why. Anything that happens in the league, all 32 teams in the league have security that's top notch, like FBI, so they know what's going on before an insider would know. All the insider knows is, yo, guess what? We willing to give up X amount, whatever they want, we willing to give that up to get Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson, that was one of the teams on his list. Now, they're not going to disclose with the sake of you going on national TV and saying, oh, the Jets they're going to pull back their offer because coming down next week, Deshaun Washington got issues with 16 women. They not going to do that because guess what? That's what they getting is in confidence. So now that tells all players that they can't hold water. And all you gotta do is think about the backlash that came out from Greg Hardy and Ray Rice when both of those situations came out. What did they say? There's no way the league should have not acted when they have FBI type security and they have access to files that they would have known everything before anybody had to tell them. Either player didn't have to tell them nothing. That don't mean an insider like a Adam Schefter or anybody like that, they're going to tell them.
But what you're saying right now is kind of supporting what I'm saying as far as why I think he would be over. Because like you're saying, the league took a lot of crap for how they were with previous situations, and they've kind of overdone it.
But those situations were where women were physically touched.
So was this?
No. I'm talking about.
You talking about abuse
physically.
But so this is abuse too.
Listen, let me tell you something. The reason why I'm gonna tell you why I don't think. And if you think about it, you can make it black and white if you want to. But you have black dudes that ended up being faces of their organization, but might not be the quarterback. But in the same situation, you got Ben Roethlisberger out there in Pittsburgh. That raped a woman.
You're right, but that's not what I'm talking about, though. Like, that's not what I'm saying. You're preaching to the choir. You're also talking about something that happened prior to Ray Rice and them, and you just said the way that they reacted to that when the way the fan reaction was to that. So what I'm saying is this is after all of that, right? So what I'm saying is that because of the backlash that they've had in those situations, I think they would make an example out of him. They do get backlash for how they didn't respond to Ben Roethlisberger too.
But they're responding. What I'm saying to you is you have the league going to come down. They're going to respond to him. They're not going to kick him out the league. He's going to be suspended. But at the end of it, he's going to be suspended. But what I'm saying to you is these teams that wanted him was willing to give up. You're talking about 3 or 4 years worth of draft picks.
Yeah.
So now guess what? If he's suspended, his draft, the capital that I have to give up is going to decrease. So I could get him at a lesser price.
When I say he's going to be out of football, I'm not talking about the NFL saying he can't play. What I'm saying is, which is pretty much what you're saying. If they suspend him for the entire season next year, right? He can't play next year. I don't know what with the Texas still having his rights when he came back. After that, they still gonna be asking for a king's ransom.
They can't.
All right.
They can't. You're talking about a dude that was suspended. He's gonna come back on the NFL protocol list.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? If I'm giving you that, well, you know how you would look at it? Yes, they would try that, but that would be dumb because the dude don't want to play for you, number one. Mm-hmm. He's told you that. He's willing to sit out. You know what I'm saying? So now, guess what? Whether he's suspended or not, he's suspended and he's going to suspend himself if you keep him there. All right? But now the draft capital going to decrease because of this right here. If he mess up, whether he's with you or without you, that's another suspension. I'm not giving you all that draft capital, and he's already your headache. So if you want to keep that, you keep him.
Yeah, no.
I don't think he's going to be out the league is because he still has the talent to be a top 5 quarterback in the league, and nobody's going to pass that up.
I hear you. Like, and you're right with him being a top 5, with him having the potential to be a top 5. But what I'm saying is, my scenario is, if it comes out that this stuff is true, he is proven that he did all of these things. I'm not talking about what it is right now. What we're dealing with right now is allegations. Nothing has been proven. Nothing has been proven. If they go to court and this stuff is proven, I don't think teams are going to touch him.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you what the difference in what you're saying, too. If it is true.
That's what I've been saying.
No. You're not letting me finish.
Okay.
If it is true, what's the most that could come out of it on his head?
What do you mean?
Money.
Yeah, but that...
It ain't... Hold on. So, right now, in this case, which prior cases, all dealing with women. I'm not talking about nothing dealing with nothing else but women. Mm-hmm. All the cases. who do you see in the forefront which make these organizations be like, I really don't want to touch this dude because I don't want to have this out here? It ain't the media, it's the women groups. Right now, you don't have the women groups saying nothing.
But
the women groups are pretty much on his side right now.
I hear you, but nothing's been proven yet.
It don't matter. In the beginning, before the Greg Hardy situation, nobody knew nothing. In the beginning, nobody knew what was done. All we knew was the neighbor saying that something happened and this, that, and the third. The woman didn't want to press charges or nothing. She said she fell.
Yeah.
Okay? So nobody knew nothing until the court cases came out. The women groups was already on him.
Mm-hmm.
They were on him from the gate. As soon as they said it was something with a woman, they came out there. Mm-hmm. You got 20 women in this case. The women's groups aren't saying anything.
And I think that points to what I was saying as far as benefit of the doubt. Everything that we ever heard in the timing of this, I think a lot of people are doubting it right now. The timing and everything that we think we know about Deshaun Watson up until this point. I think that's why. Now, if this is proven that this is true, all of that's going to change.
Okay, since you want to say that, look at the Ray Ray situation.
Yeah.
Image pretty much the same.
Right. But
image-wise,
video.
Hold on. Yes, the video, the women's groups came out. Who forgave him before anybody? The women's group.
Yeah.
So therefore, and they wrote letters saying that this man should be, he should be able to earn an income and go back to doing what he was doing. He paid his price. Mm-hmm. Women's groups will jump in the forefront. They're not going to play Monday quarterback, now it's true, let's jump on it. They're going to jump on it right now at the grassroots. And they will do their homework and they would take up a side, like you said, the woman said that he was laying there humping the air and all that. Right now would be the time that you would see the women's group jump on board like, yeah, this kind of stuff. I'm trying to tell you.
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think you can compare it to the Ray Rice situation.
No, what I'm saying is women groups, period.
What I'm saying is you comparing the situations that's not like this one. Like, yes.
Are women involved?
Let me explain. Let me explain. It's different in this situation because his image and, like I said, the timing. Just like the same way you feel, most people feel, right? As far as like, this is just, it's not that much coincidence in the world, right? That's why I think nobody's saying anything, because it's too convenient, the timing and everything we know about this guy. When you talk about the Ray Rice situation and how they forgave him, the most important forgiveness was that of his now wife. And I think that is what opened up the forgiveness with everyone else.
No, because it was before, but Chris, if you pay attention to this, when they forgave him before his wife even spoke, because she said that night they both got in trouble.
And they was at
Greg Hardy, hold on, but Greg Hardy, no, it wasn't the next day. They was at a football game.
I said the next day they were together.
Okay, but the women's groups forgave him before anything. Greg Hardy, they was protesting before they knew the outcome. If it was true,
I ain't even talking about Greg Hardy and Ray Rice. Like, women's group. I'm just saying you brought them up. But what I'm saying is,
you saying the man will be over. This dude has a chance to still play at a high caliber. Somebody will want him, and they are watching the fact that, these women are not protesting anything on going against him.
I hear what you're saying.
And I don't know, as time went on from the early days, no matter if you was a quarterback, no matter if you was a running back, basketball player, women's groups jump on these things ahead of time. They don't play Monday quarterback. Now all of a sudden we're going to get out there and be protesting and things of that nature. They do it from the beginning, and you can look it up.
Yeah.
They're not going to say, now that he's guilty.
I really don't care what the women groups are doing.
That was
never my point. You brought that up. Cool. I don't
care.
I don't care. I really don't matter to me about the women's group. What I'm saying is, and I hope I'm wrong, if this gets proven that he did the things that he did, I don't think any team's going to touch him. That's the bottom line. Right
but
now,
you said
because
of what? The media and all that.
No, I'm not because of the media. It's because if he's proven to do this thing, it's because of him.
I disagree, but
it was because of
they
him.
wouldn't be trying to trade for him now and worrying about just the league.
Nobody's trying to trade for him now.
All right. You better go look.
Yeah, I am. Nobody is trying to do anything now.
No, they're all saying that they're worrying about what his repercussions.
Exactly. He's not getting traded.
Why would any other team be worrying about what his repercussions are if they're not worrying about trading for him?
It is the dead season in the NFL. Anybody that
Why
ever
would
let me finish what I'm saying. Anybody in the media that has ever talked about media in the NFL, when you're in March and April, they're making shit up because there's no news, right? So I hope I'm wrong, because I like to know
that's the conversation, because you're right. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, but
we don't know who's right or wrong. I'm just saying my opinion is he's not going to. If it's true,
that because
I've been saying that.
No, you saying but you brought up examples of why they don't want to, because of they're not going to want him to be the face because of the media and the storm that is going to bring, the negative light is going to bring. The negative light would be out here right now.
It is.
What's the negative light that you're hearing? You don't hear nobody protesting outside their stadium. Nothing.
They not even saying nothing. No, what's the name? Why would they protest outside of Houston Texas Stadium?
Did he do something that? Are we pretty much sure, regardless whether he's found guilty in the court of law or not, that some kind of disciplinary action is coming from the league?
We don't know.
Okay. All right.
We don't.
Well, I don't understand why we even talked about it, other than what he did, what he didn't do, we don't know. So we might as well take the approach that everybody else taking and wait to just talk about it, and when it becomes true or it becomes a non-factor.
I think it's interesting because of the timing, and like I said from the beginning, my heart hopes that it ain't true because he's got a lot of talent and he's got a lot of promise. But if it is true, I think he'll pretty much be done.
Well, we have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see. Did you watch the women's basketball game, Baylor and
Nope, I watched a little bit because it's too much stuff going on. I've been watching the George Floyd trial.
Yeah.
I've been watching a whole bunch of stuff that, to me, to be honest with you, I just started watching. I didn't realize that the Final Four is coming up until last night.
So let's talk about George Floyd's trial.
Like they trying to make excuses, talking about that he was on drugs, he has fentanyl in his system, and that's what might have killed him. When you got police coming out and saying that no, you don't get trained to put your knee on nobody's neck. You got underage kids, 9-year-old girls testifying and things of that nature. Like, all of this, it's just bugged out to me, man. Like that, and to me, all of this is coming down to, and like a friend of mine always say, all of this is a look over here tactic. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let's distract them with this, which is, to me, the NCAA tournament, the way they set up the days and all of that, knowing that all of this is coming into play. And this is coming into play when this is going on, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. And they know people don't want to pay attention, so now we're going to sit back and watch. You got the kids at the border. You got the dude that crossed the border with all these arms and things of that nature. You got the contractors that under Trump was building a fence. They getting paid to not work and not build a fence. You know what I mean? But then we hearing about the stimulus package and all of this stuff is messing up the economy. Like, it's too much. So to be honest with you, I ain't been paying attention to sports like that. I dib and dab to check on, you know, what my teams is doing and get a little update, to get a break from the current events and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But other than just sitting down and paying attention, I haven't.
Well, I mean, to talk about the George Floyd trial, unfortunately, I'm not surprised. But what I will say in regards to the trial, I find it interesting where they were talking to the officer and he explained, he was even trying to defend what he did after watching it again. So he's talking about that his thoughts in his head is, we're going to have to contain this guy. He's a sizable man, and he might be on something. Now, when you watch his body cam and they show George Floyd, like, to be honest with you, regardless if there was something in his system, he wasn't combative when they approached him. They asked him, do you know why we are here? He said, no, I didn't do nothing. They mentioned to him the fact that they got called that he paid with a fake $20 bill. They then brought him over to the car. He says, I'm scared as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this time, he's not resisting. You know what I'm saying? They told him they was going to put him in the squad car. I don't understand, like, and this is where I go to, and this is why in the past I've taken the police exam. I wanted to be a police officer because I feel like you have people policing areas that they're scared to be in. And when you have people policing areas that they're scared to be in, when you're scared, that's where fight or flight kicks in, right? So you're seeing officers who are petrified of the people in the community, and they're reacting off of fear. The entire time while he had his knee on his neck, you had people who were shouting, check his pulse, he's not moving. They're talking, I don't care what he had in his system, and you're talking about this is what caused him to suffocate and things like that. There's no reason for you to have your knee on the back of his neck when you had him in handcuffs. What was he doing? He was resisting because he's telling you he can't breathe, right? So this whole conversation, like, it just takes me.
First of all, have you ever been in handcuffs?
No, I've never been in handcuffs. No.
Do you realize how much you can resist in handcuffs? It's minimal. Minimal. There's nothing you could do to nobody, especially laying on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, that's just.
And when the EMS chick that worked for the fire department came, they told her if you was really working for the fire department, you would know you to mind your business. Some crazy shit like that. Because she took the stand too.
Yeah.
So when you got police chiefs and captains and all of this talking, going against these dudes, and I hear what you're saying about these cops are scared. I get all of that. But when you're a cop, and there's some that I know, and I got friends that are police, that cold blue shit is real. Because I know what you're doing, but I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to sweep this under the rug too. Because if you don't sweep it under the rug, and you don't keep your mouth shut on the things that you know is wrong, then you're going to be the outcast in the room. And nobody wants to be the outcast in the room. Mm-hmm. Period, point blank. Like where I'm from, it was a cop that was out there that everybody knew was going and locking people up illegally, you know what I'm saying, getting them beat up, all of this stuff. But the cops from the hood wasn't saying that. The black cops in the station wasn't saying nothing. And I remember being in the station one time, going to bail somebody out on a death bail, and a young lady came in asking for her son, and they said the detective came, and the detective locked her son up, and she was like, yeah, I know he got a hard on for my son, this, that, and the third, but my son was on a scooter or something like that. Can I get the scooter back? And all I want is the scooter. Whatever, they got going on, I'll wait till my son go to court, this, that, and the third, but I want the scooter back because from what I'm hearing, he told my son the scooter was illegal, this, that, and the third, so if it's illegal, I want to take it back and get my money back because they shouldn't have sold me the scooter. Right? Mm-hmm. Now you got black cops coming out in the hallway and all that, knowing them. This is from out that grew up in the area. Uh-huh. Hey, yo, what's going on, such and such? Yeah, such and such. I'm not gonna say his name, but people from Mount Vernon that's listening to this know who I'm talking about. The asshole cop, the one that made me clean up 10th Avenue the night before I was going in the academy for something I ain't do, because he had a beef with my peoples that was a county cop. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He wanted to lock me up, give me the address, then he rolled past my house without me giving him the address. And was like, yeah, you sure you gotta wake up in the morning? You lucky. Cause tomorrow you wasn't gonna make it where you gotta go. What kind of shit is that? But these dudes actually told this woman, she was like, yeah, you know, I just want to get my son's scooter, you know what I mean? Because if it's illegal, is it illegal? They was like, I don't know. Now she's telling them who locked her son up. Well, you know, that's how you do, you know, well, yeah, you know, yo, I can't wait for him to retire, yo, he gotta get out of here. Like, this shit is crazy, like, you know, he be doing too much. If he doing so too much, why when the news came around asking about shit he was doing, you wasn't saying nothing? Because you didn't want to be the outcast in the locker room.
Yeah. Well, it's like
even the dude, the Chinese dude, homeboy married to his sister. So he not even going to tell him, yo, get off his neck. Now, guess what? This dude go to jail. I don't know if the dude and his sister, Shalvin and his sister got kids, but now your nieces and nephews or whatever, they going to be missing their father because you sat there and watched him kill somebody. Because you, the code, the blue wall or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, that definitely happens. I mean, we see that on a smaller scale too. I mean, you see that in a lot of environments. But the unfortunate thing is when it happens in the police environment, it can have fatal consequences. Like, and that's what the uproar has been about. That's what it will continue to be about until we see changes. But
I ain't gonna lie, this is so bad that if this dude get off, last night on YouTube, a dude that I watched, he's knowledgeable, he's mild-mannered, everything. He actually told the people that watched him, he was like, yo, to all my viewers, he was like, I'm not asking everybody to come because everybody ain't going to be on it like this. He was like, but I have to say this. They let that cop off. I'm flying to Indianapolis. Minneapolis, whatever. He said, and I'm with them. We're going to tear that fucking city up.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that.
No. It ain't, listen to what I'm saying. He's not saying they are. He's telling his followers, get on a plane with him. He said, if we the only ones out there, we're going to tear that fucking city up. And not in the hood. We're going to tear the city up where they live. So they got to come out and see this shit. And the people that shake his hand and do all of this shit and think this is cool, no, this ain't cool.
Yeah.
They saying this dude was on fentanyl and all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? Basically, you're saying the dude was on dope. Because that's what they mix with dope, fentanyl. But fentanyl, it could be used with a lot of things, but a lot of times they mix it with dope. That's one of the common drugs they mix it with. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, all of this stuff, like, to me, is just showing over and over and over again, like, what I always said, and I've been trying to tell people, and once again, I'm going to say it again. Donald Trump made it easy and comfortable for people to come out their shell. Like, yo, I don't fuck with black, brown, and all of this. And one thing the dude said last night, he was like, yo, if you think about it, oh, that's the government right there. And my earpiece just said, speak louder. I'm having trouble hearing you. And it wasn't serious. That's facts. That's facts. But, now that's some government shit. Speak up, I'm having trouble hearing. And it was a dude. But, you know, when you say things like that and you watch the stuff that go on, he made it comfortable for these people to be like, yo, I don't like black, brown people. But homeboy on YouTube say, yo, if you think about it, instead of us beefing with each other, everybody really need to read and think about where they came from and who they came from. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Islanders, period. We all one. We all black people. And guess what? We outnumber them. He was like, I'm not talking about the military. They're going to have to bring the military out. But then some of the military going to have to take a stand as to what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They walking around here, like you said on the last episode, homeboy that went in the supermarket and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, and some people ain't having it because it was a black dude that went in one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, let's be fair. You know what I'm saying? You talked about the body armor, but the black dude had body armor.
Yeah,
and all that
he did.
shit too.
Yeah, he was black.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People getting tired of being sick and tired.
And that's why.
And being underprivileged and looked at like, yo, I ain't no good. What?
Yeah, but like, I don't have, and it upsets me to say this, I don't have high hopes for the trial. I think the trial is gonna kind of be a precursor to a whole bunch of madness.
And that's why, and I'm gonna tell you something, not to cut you off, but if anybody, the one thing that I do feel a little bit confident in, I didn't see the jury, but if they competent mentally, one thing somebody said makes a lot of sense, and then anybody that's been before a judge stood there when they talking, one thing that they say in court that I always used to laugh about, you know what I'm saying, and even to this day I laugh about it. As somebody that been through the process of things of that nature where they be like, strike that.
Yeah, like
they don't already said that.
Yeah.
So you telling them to strike that, they heard it. So my confidence is you don't saw this video a million times whether you wanted to or not.
They played it on in court today.
No, but what I'm saying is even if they did, they showed this video over and over again in court, and they showed it over again before you got picked for that jury, so you went in there knowing that what happened. So that's I'm confident that there are competent people on this jury that no matter what somebody goes in there and try and tell you, and I don't care if he was a porn star, I don't care if he had a prior record, I don't care. My whole thing is you know what happened because you saw this video played over and over and over again before you were picked for that jury. And they say they don't want people to go on a jury with a preconceived notion on what you're going to do. But me personally, think that these people went there and said, we here to exact justice where justice needs to be exacted. Period, point blank.
I hope that's the outcome.
And I understand your take on it too. That, you know, we've seen it go left so many times. But,
because, I mean, and I look at it like, I think the reason I don't have high hopes is because of the Breonna Taylor situation. Like, that situation is crazy. Like, we still don't, they're not even, that's just over in their eyes.
Yeah, but her situation is a little different because we really didn't get to see it happen.
I understand we didn't get to see, well, you did get to see.
No, you saw the aftermath.
No. There was, if I'm not mistaken, there was body cam footage for that too.
Right, but you really, all you heard, with the video I saw, was they asked who was it, the police didn't say nothing, and then you heard the shots. Where they
and there was
saying,
only one shot from the board.
Okay, but see, that's where confusion could come into play. If you're competent, you gonna say Okay, but they saying it was a shot. I heard the one. I heard the one from inside. In this case, this is pure black and white. I don't care if your TV is a smart TV. It could be a floor model with the screen you put on it to make it color. This is pure black and white. You watch this happening.
Nah, I feel you.
The video footage is crazy. And then you got these 9-year-old kids talking in court, saying what they saw, and saying that my mother told me to stand right here, and you know, that like
even the girl that recorded, like the girl that actually recorded the video, she's breaking down on the stand.
Right.
You got I forget who he was, but the guy who told the officer, like, I don't respect what you did.
But hear what I'm saying. When it hits home, and it hits harder when you have a minor telling you that their parent told them to stay right here, that they was going to move closer to try and help this situation. They had this 9-year-old girl on the stand, man.
Yeah.
And that right there in itself is that's what I'm saying. I hope we got competent jurors, because that there in itself is not normal, and that's traumatic in itself. You watch the traumatic incident happen live. Now you got to reenact this live in live court.
Yeah.
And you ain't even 10 years old yet.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I hope so, because to be honest, like if I'm being honest, if it don't, I'm scared for what could be to come. And you know what I mean, like because it just comes to the point where enough's been enough. But it's like this is crazy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, and this maybe it's just my feeling. If you a minority in this country, and you ain't been scared, and this is going to be the tipping to get you scared, you've been living under a rock. Because every day I'm nervous, and I'm nervous for me and my family.
So you say you got anxiety.
No, I'm nervous because of the fact of, like I said, it's not anxiety of the unknown. Unknown is the anxiety. I know what can happen. And once Donald Trump made it, whatever you want to call it, made them comfortable. When I grew up, you didn't know who was pretty much in the Klan. You didn't know that. Listen, man, they willing to show you, yo, take their hood off. This is me. And I could care less about you. And now it's dipping into the Asian community.
Yeah.
So guess what? This is them saying they ready for everything and everything, any and everything you got for them. They prepared. Are you? And I was talking to a dude today, and we was just talking on some different things, and he was like, "Yo, you do realize where you at, right?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "This is the first state." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" He was like, "Man, anybody that ain't nervous about what could happen to them out here, you have to be out there rabbit-ass mind." And I had to tell him a story about a white guy that I work with. He's my man. And we was talking, he asked me, where did I move to? And I was talking to him, and it shocked me that he knew where it was at. And the reason why he knew was from the next town over, in Maryland.
Yeah.
And that shit is real. But now, when you got a president that play the games that he play like Trump, it's like, oh, okay, what? I gotta be a proud boy. Yeah? Oh yeah, man. Let's go out and yeah. And that's just the brass tacks of it.
Yeah, I don't. But what I will say is, I think you right in the sense of like, yeah, if you haven't been scared or nervous and you're completely oblivious to what's been going on. But what I will say is, if you are scared, if you have been scared and nervous, and you just sat still, like I feel like you're starting to see a lot of people be exposed for freezing in their fear.
No, what you starting to see is people being exposed for not believing it can happen. A lot of people.
I don't think people doubted it could happen.
Yeah,
though.
a lot of people felt, and you had, this is documented, where people would be on TV, like I always gotta go back to, like, Farrakhan. You had people on TV that want to tell jokes and all kind of shit, and be like, yo, man, America ain't bad. America been good to me. America, oh man, racism ain't in America.
But what's the commonality with those people though?
What's the commonality?
Yeah.
Either they trying to, all of them ain't rich.
Mm-hmm.
All of them ain't rich.
Because
I know so. A lot of people ain't rich, man.
Most of the people that I've seen, and this is
a lot of
my
them comedians ain't rich.
They doing better than the middle class. So they're definitely they're comfortable. Like whatever you want to consider rich, but what I'm saying is a lot of these people are on it like that for their wallet, right? And they're comfortable and they don't want like the higher taxes and things like that. So that's the commonality that I see. Whether you want to say they're wealthy, rich.
No, but you're looking at it from the standpoint of Trump. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or their statement.
Their statement and their
I'm
support.
talking about before Trump got in there, they were saying.
Yeah, I said the statement in Trump. What's the name?
When Trump got in, that's when people that was rich, people that was poor realized, hold on, I think
the people who always, in our community anyway, the black people who always championed like America and it's this great country, a lot of them were, well off, more comfortable.
Let's just say they were.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to realize something. Like I said, back then, the person you sitting next to wasn't comfortable enough to tell you that they didn't give a fuck about you.
I know that, but I'm just responding to what you said. This was before Trump. I'm just saying that if we being honest too, like even in our taking an opposing argument as far as like America's not as great as people are making, as they were making it out to be, we still, in that statement, are recognizing the greatness in America, because in some countries, we couldn't even have this conversation. In a lot of countries.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, I do appreciate that. But, what I'm going to say is, the people who really feel like they've benefited off of being here, in most cases, are not the majority of our community. Right? So, like, the people who are feeling the effects of the systematic racism and things of that sort, who are getting the short end of the stick, right? It's hindsight's 20/20, right? And for some folks, when they start doing better, they forget about the things that they experienced when they weren't where they are now. And that's where you get these situations where you have like, and that's why he preyed on those people too, like the transition to Trump. When you try to get the Floyd Mayweathers and things like that, you know what I mean, on your side, you know what I mean? So they're influential in the black community. We praise them because...
But you changing what I'm saying.
Okay.
My narrative is this. Before Trump, there was the unknown. Mm-hmm. Meaning, you could walk in a Walmart and the cashier be nice to you. Yeah. Right? But you have no clue that when they go home, they're going home and they're plotting to kill you. Yeah. Or someone that looks like you. Mm-hmm. Right? Uh-huh. Whereas when Trump came in, whether you looked at The Simpsons, whether you look at South Park and things of that nature, that was telling you all these years, this is what it is. You had people saying because of the unknown and people sneaking around doing the dirtbag shit, yo, it ain't like that. So to have Farrakhan saying that it's racism and this and that, like, this ain't the 60s. Like, you gotta get out of that. We could do pretty much anything we want to do if we go out here and apply ourselves. But now you applied yourself. Now you rich. They doing the shit to you too that they was doing in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
To them rich people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be what's my man's name? That Muhammad Ali. The Muhammad Alis and all of these people who were well off. Guess what? They were seeing this kind of stuff. They were fighting for that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm not looking at it from the standpoint of what you making or how much money you make. What Trump made it easy for them to do is say, yo, guess what? I work at Sally Mae. Yeah, I know you, Chris. But first chance I get, I'm going to kill you and everybody that look like you and everybody around you. He made it comfortable.
I agree with
comfortable doing that.
I agree with you. He made it comfortable, but what I will say is they still. I don't agree with that. They're just blatantly mean to you though. Like, what's the name?
No, I didn't say that.
No, what you said is they in the back of the day they would smile in your face.
Right.
They still do that now.
This is my point.
So
but the difference is if you, how can I put it? Back in the days, if you got on their nerves,
mm-hmm.
right? They would watch how they would say certain things to you because they knew this shit could get ugly, and that dude over there that they think is their friend might not take his hood off. If all things being fair, it's 5 of them and 5 of y'all. They're not going to go there and create an issue with you. Now they're more boisterous and willing to take their 5 against your 5 because we have showed them over the years that we're compassionate and we willing. Yo, well, you know, let's talk this out. They saying it ain't no talking with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of always been their mindset.
No, they always wanted to hide it.
I don't think they really did. I think they hid it in plain sight, and I'll tell you why. Right? So we have been consumers of people who say this stuff, say demeaning things about our people forever. Right? Like I recently, like not recently, like but within the past year, probably like a little over a year, rewatched The Sopranos. That show was racist as hell.
Yeah.
But we loved it, and that was in the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. They called black people the N-word on that show. No, they didn't even. They were saying nigger.
Okay.
What I'm saying. So I'm like, yeah, like we like promoted that show.
But guess what?
But what I'm saying to you is, I agree. He made it more comfortable, but I don't think it was ever like completely hidden. I think the way they did it for us, they manipulated us to the point where we was buying and supporting shit that was telling us we wasn't shit anyway.
Okay, but now here's what I'm gonna say to speak to The Sopranos. Okay. You tell me what Italian dude that you know came out, regular conversation, and was like, yo, what's up, nigga?
I ain't saying he did.
This is my point. I'm not talking about TV. Because if you want to look at TV, everything is hidden in plain sight if you don't want to look at it. What I'm talking about is right now, you can go to the Wawa right around the corner, and the motherfucker will fuck around and call you a nigga. And dare you to say something. And dare you to say something.
That's never happened to me. But
I'm not saying it did. What I'm telling you is they are more inclined to do it today than they were yesterday.
Yeah, I never.
And that's my point.
Yeah, I never disagreed with
It's
that.
always been here, and it's always been talked about by what we call, quote unquote, the radicals. They just want to go to war, and this, that, and the third. And that goes back to what I'm saying about knowing your history as to why some Italians might say what they say.
But like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you in that regard. What I'm saying, all I'm saying is, while I agree that Trump made him more comfortable, I think that's, nobody could disagree with that. Like, that's obvious.
That's all my point was.
Yeah,
It's
I just
been
elaborated on.
my
your
whole
point.
thing is, this has always been here.
That's what I'm saying.
Always.
I don't think it was ever. What I said is, I don't think it was really ever hidden.
No,
it just become
listen.
what I like. And what they did, they had what I equated to is like it was always high fashion. Now they put jewelry with the high fashion.
No, what I'm gonna say is this. Maybe you're right, but I'm gonna say it like this. You got the '60s where they told you, yo, you ain't sitting over here, you ain't eating. Okay, you ain't doing that. All right, so that's out in the open. As the '60s went on and the '70s went on, where the minorities started growing closer to each other and realizing that we all in this together. Whether you're black, whether you some kind of a form of Spanish, which Puerto Ricans and Mexicans ain't Spanish. Okay, well let me say they're not Spaniards. So all of us, the American Indians, the West Indians, Jamaicans, whatever you want to call, we all was coming together and realizing like, yo, wait a minute. We are the dominant race, man. And we ain't going for this shit. So they went underground. But yes, they was still doing the shit, but they was doing it to the people like you saying, want to accept it. The Kanye West is the people that have money, because guess what? If I take away your money, you have no earning power. But now, guess what? With your earning power back in the 60s and the late 60s, 70s, what they was doing, they was pooling their money together. That's a threat to them. So now I got to go underground. Now you fast forward to now, you be like, yo, they walking around here with their chest poked out and dare you to say some shit to them.
Yeah, I just think the tactics changed. I mean, that's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, the tactics changed because the whole, like you said in the 60s, you can't sit here. I still think
and what they did was, they took up the jobs that nobody wanted to take. Police. They did all that because guess what? They know what it is to empower themselves so they can keep their foot, no pun intended, or their knee on our neck.
Yeah, like I said, like the whole can't sit with us, I think that's still the rhetoric. I think it's just being displayed in a different way.
Yeah,
like
because when we say it, we get judged.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like you said, 60s, you can't sit here. I think the laws that are governing our nation, overarching, say you can't sit with us. Like when the Housing Act was passed, right? Black people weren't able to take advantage of that, right? So that's another way of saying you can't sit with us. You can't own any land. Like when the because I'm actually about to look this up because I talked about it before, but I keep not saying the name, and I need to say the name. Hold up, I'll pull it up.
Well, while you're looking for it, I'm gonna say this. You making my point for me. It was behind the scenes, undercover.
I always said I agree with you.
But where they right? But I'm just reiterating it that he made it comfortable that right now they don't give a flying fuck how they talk on the news. Nothing.
Yeah, like I said,
they
that's what it's called, the Homestead Act. So let me, like, if you never heard of this, the Homestead Act of 1862. So, Abe Lincoln signed the Homestead Act on May 20th, 1862. On January 1st, 1863, Daniel Freeman made the first claim under the act, which gave citizens or future citizens up to 160 acres of public land, provided they live on it, improve it, and pay a small registration fee, right? The government granted more than 270 million acres of land while the law was in effect. Now, key thing there is the fact that it talks about, one was the year that it was passed, right? So the act was passed in 1862. The second key point there talks about citizens and or future citizens. At this time, black people were property, so we were not considered citizens. So when I was talking about on previous episodes the fact of like they're not handing out any more land, like this right here, all you had to do was be a citizen, live on that land, and improve it. So if you grew crops, that's improving the land. Everybody knew how to do it, especially black people, because we were the ones working in the field, right? So what happened was these people were given 160 acres of land free and clear. All they had to do was improve upon it, so they hired black slaves. That's why you get how you have plantations. We worked the land. We're picking cotton. We're growing crops and things like that, things of that nature. That's why you hear black people say we built this land, right? And these folks were reaping the benefits off of that, right? Over 270 million acres of land while the law was in effect. We were not viewed as people at this time. So that's another way that the country said, you can't sit with us. So like can't sit with us is a kind of overarching theme through all of this, right? Once we were considered free, we were no longer slaves, right? Then you had mass incarceration, which is another form of slavery. A lot of the products that we deal with in day-to-day life are made by prisoners that get paid pennies, right? But we're benefiting off of their cheap labor because they locked behind a wall. You know what I mean? It's another form of slavery, right? So you have all of these like can't sit with us kind of themes. You come out of jail, you're a felon. They tell you they want you to reinstitute your way into society, but nobody will hire you because you have a record. You know what I mean? So you either work for minimum wage if you have children, you have a family that you can't support them. So it kind of pushes you back towards that life that you were supposed to be rehabilitating yourself from, but you have no other way to survive, and you're in an environment where supply is down and demand is high, right? The ghettos of America. That's what it is.
But what you're doing is changing the narrative. That's hiding in plain sight. That's behind the scenes.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with that point.
What I'm saying is, don't change the topic because that's another day.
I'm not changing the topic. What I'm saying is, you're saying I'm showing how can't sit with us has followed us all the way to now, and to now, like you said, they're more bold, and it's just like we don't gotta pass a law to like. We don't got to put an act out there or a law to kind of finagle our way to keep them out of our seats. We can just tell them, like, we don't want you to sit with us. And that's what they're saying now. You can't sit with us. If you ever seen the movie Mean Girls, they're like, you can't sit with us. That's what's going on.
Do you realize that they could say tomorrow, we can't vote?
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Okay, so this is what I mean about people go along to get along, and they could care less, and they don't want to. And that's something that not only affects black people, it affects black men and women, and white women too.
I don't be understanding what you're saying, like go along and get along.
Because these are things that need to be addressed. That people they throw so much at us on that go look over here shit, where we forget the narrative of what is really going on in America as the way America, we can say as much as we want is hard on the black man and the black woman. To me, it's hard on women, period. You know what I'm saying? It's hard on the black man, the black people, minority people, period. But we forget, and they tend to forget. White women are caught up in that too. They ain't even shit neither.
No, I mean that. Women definitely have a fight also, right? That's where women's rights.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
No, I'm going.
Most acts that include us, women are included. All women.
I get that, but what I'm gonna say is this, right? So yeah, women do have a fight, but I would not agree with saying that their fight is, and it's kind of iffy to say this is not gonna come across right, but I don't mean it as if the fight is not important. But women had rights before black people had rights.
What rights women have?
They were citizens. before black people were.
Okay, they were citizens, but
But I'm just saying,
you're a citizen in the country. We citizens now.
You have rights as a citizen, though.
What rights? What real rights do women have?
What I'm saying is they were progressively ahead of black people.
Everybody's ahead of, we know that.
All right, so that's what I'm
saying to you is,
you said that it was worse.
What I'm saying to you is, I didn't say it was worse.
Okay.
What I said was, and I'm gonna say it again. Everything that we fighting for, women need to be on board too.
They are.
Because not every woman is not on board. Every white person ain't on board. Do you realize Trump made poor white people who make up a more percentage of black people on welfare believe they were better than you?
No, that's not what I'm saying when I say they're on board. I'm saying, because you're talking about women's rights. Women's rights groups are on...
No, you brought up women's rights. I said tomorrow they could say that we cannot vote and that affects women.
Okay. All right, I agree.
I don't care if nobody agrees. That's an actual fact.
I said I agree.
It's not a law that women can vote, and it's not a law that blacks can vote. All it is a right. So they could come out and say tomorrow, we revoking the right to vote amongst blacks and women. That right there, that right is coming away. Only people that can vote in this country are white men.
Yeah, I mean, the country was made to serve white men.
This is my point. So guess what? A lot of things that, like, you want to go back and say what happened back then. All of that was out in the open in the beginning, up until the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, where they had to go in the ground. Because black people at that point, before they started flooding us with massive amount of drugs and the mass incarceration and things of that nature, and giving women, black women, help as far as welfare and things of that nature, with the stipulation that the black man can't be in the house, or we not giving you that money for you and those children. So guess what? That's where the division came. When they saw people coming together, you know what I'm saying? That's when they realized, hold on, we got to go underground. Now we got to come and figure out another way to attack them. Because if they ever realize that we don't want to mingle with them and they shouldn't be mingling with us, and they get the idea of not mingling, and we only going to deal with each other and we going to build each other up brick by brick, then guess what? We are fucked in this country. And like I said, I always said, I'm going to keep saying it until the last day of my breath in this podcast. When I say black, I'm inclusive to anybody that knows who they are. I'm talking about the Chinese. I'm talking about the West Indians, Indians of America, Indian meaning the Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians. When we all realize it ain't just the American black and this, that, and the third, and we realize that, hold on, yeah, I got issues with the American black, and I got issues with, say, the Jamaican, or I got issues with the West Indians, or I got issues with the Dominican, and the Dominican got issues with the Haitian, and the Mexican got issues with the American Indian, shit like that, and we all come together. It's gonna be it's gonna be a sad day in Mudville.
Yeah.
Cause guess what? They know what they doing, son.
Yeah. What I would say though, my position, I'm not on it like it's just us. Like I'm a believer in black empowerment, but I will not exclude white people.
No, see, you missing the point. What you're doing is Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. You cannot exclude all white people.
Right.
But, like the other day, a guy broke down, like I told you on past episodes. Number one, everybody that's white, that has to claim white on the application or things of that nature, they're not white in the first place.
Right.
Okay? Italians walk around saying they're white, and they're not white.
Not real Italians.
What?
I know real Italians that will tell you they're not white.
Because they know their history.
That's what I said, real Italians.
What's a real Italian?
Someone who knows who they are.
Okay, what's a real Italian?
Someone who knows they're not white.
No, once again, what's a real Italian?
I answered. I don't know what you want me to say,
have
but that's what I'm saying.
You have northern Italians, then you got Italians that are black.
Like I said, a real Italian.
What's a real black person?
Huh? Or a real black person, somebody who knows who they are. They know that they didn't originate from America.
So a person that don't know who they are is a fake person?
No, I'm not saying that. That's what you said. What I said
you
is...
said a real person. I'm asking you what's a real Italian.
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm telling you that I've spoken to Italians that tell me they're not white. Don't call me white. I'm not white. I'm Italian.
Just say that. Don't say...
I said a real Italian.
No, that don't make them a real
Italian.
Italian.
Whatever. You don't make how I said it. That's how I said it.
But that's not... Listen to what I'm saying.
Just finish your point.
The point is, people that know who they are will be on board with what you're dealing with. The ones that don't want to be on board, that's the ones that's the ones that people want to be included with. Yeah. The people that want to infiltrate, like you just watched a movie not too long ago that you thought was a good movie. Judas and the Messiah. What did they do? They infiltrated. And
but what I'm saying is that's not what you said,
listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying, listen, Chris, I don't know how to make it more plainer. Okay, Martin Luther King he wasn't asking for white people to come on board, but if you want to come on board, this is our fight. You have to be inclusive in our fight. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to come over here on some bullshit, we don't need you. But Malcolm X went and said that too. That's why he got assassinated. When he said that, yo, hold on, all these years, I've been looking at things from a wrong perspective because he was being taught something that he really didn't understand. And people that don't understand what they're being taught are more dangerous than somebody that knows what they're talking about because the person that don't understand don't want to understand. So anybody that look at what I'm saying and being like, yo, well, he keeps saying that, yo, they need to be all inclusive. Yes, we do. But I ain't saying exclude anybody. Mm-hmm. Because the person that's going to come in, and you know me, I don't have to keep saying this shit, and I'm not going to be like people that want to justify things that they say and do by saying, oh, I got a black friend, and this, that, and the third. But I got white friends, and I'm cool with white people that understand and know the struggle and what it is to be me. Because a lot of them come from areas and they're looked at just like I'm looked at.
No, but what you're saying right now I can get on board with. But what I'm saying is that's not what you said at first. You started with, I asked you, hold on, let me finish what I'm saying so I can explain to you why I said what I said. You said, you went with that go along to get along. I said I don't understand what you mean by that, and then you went into the whole thing of what black people are. You never said you weren't excluding white people, but your rhetoric and how you were saying
right, well, let me make this clear for people like you that don't understand, so you can understand.
Yeah, okay.
People, I'm saying I'm all inclusive with everybody in my struggle that understand what I'm going through. I'm not trying to be cool with you because you got some kind of wealth or anything like that because you don't understand me. You don't know what it is to go through what I go through. You might look at it on TV. You might have your quote-unquote sacrificial black friend that you say, oh, I understand because Chris will come over and he explains to me. You don't know what this shit is.
Yeah, no, I was just confused how that came up to begin with.
No.
I'm saying when you say go on, where did that come from?
Because what I'm saying to you is when they had to go underground with the tactics that they were doing, it was no longer readily available for them to be like, yo, I'm going to walk down the street and I'm going to slap the shit out this black dude, and if he do anything, I got the police and everything, and they fucked up.
Yeah, but who's trying to go along with that, though?
You got a lot of people that's like, yo, I don't want no smoke with them. And I just rather everybody get along. Can we all just get along? That's what that's saying.
I don't think can we all just get along is saying I'm gonna go along to get along. To me, go along to get along is different from can we all just get along.
Listen,
because go along to get along to me is me saying like, all right, I know you treated me like shit, but I'm just gonna kiss up to you because I want to be in your circle, right? That's go along to get along to me. Saying can we all just get along is me saying I recognize you treated me like shit. and that needs to stop. I'm not talking about like going under your wing and me chilling with you, knowing that you treat me like shit.
So if you saying can we all just get along and saying
That's not saying what I said.
You just said that you saying to go along, can we all just get along mean I understand that you're treating me bad, it needs to stop. That's not what that's saying. That's saying I want to get along with you. I'm like you said last episode that if we're going out here, ain't nothing gonna change, because if we give out negative energy to people that's giving they gonna return the negative energy back to us.
That's not what I said.
What
Go
did
ahead.
you say?
That's not what
all
I
right,
said.
Then let's hear what you said.
I never said nothing like that.
What did you say?
I did say something about negative energy, and what I said about negative energy was our perception of what's going on and what we choose to focus on. But I never talked about.
Okay, so I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm glad I made clarity on it. Would have a majority of white people shown black, brown, purple, pink people, what energy have they given off?
It's negative.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that somebody else's energy doesn't affect what I give off.
Hold on. So if you trying to be nice with somebody that's constantly giving you their ass to kiss, what do you think you're going to get out of it?
I think that's a different conversation, because
How is that a different conversation?
Because you, and this is what I said last time, and I feel like this is where you get in trouble with this argument, with me anyway, is you generalize, because you're saying most, right? I'm saying I'm going to give you an opportunity to prove to me that that we can be on a respectful level. Once you show me that we can't, then it's fuck you, because obviously fuck me. What you saying is, because most of y'all have shown me this, I feel like you're going to do it to me too. That affects how I'm able to interact with you. Inevitably.
Okay. Well, guess what? I
can't live like that.
I'm going to tell you like this. I'd rather be guarded with me until you show me that I could let my guard down a little bit. And I don't give a fuck if you're white or black. I'm not giving nobody, and let's make this very clear. I don't care if you black, brown, or whatever. I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt so I could turn around and be like, God damn, he cut me now, I'm bleeding, and I'm on life support because I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
And this is why I said I never made it a black and white situation when I said we was referring to black and white from an anxiety standpoint, but I said it's still anxiety if you're in an all-black room. This is why I say, on that episode when you told me I was lying, when I said, yo, I call bullshit that you don't be in a room and have anxiety. You just don't want to call it anxiety. What you just described was anxiety.
No, what it is what it's called to me, I'm going to say me. It's called protecting me.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm going to do to you if you try to hurt me. I'm not giving you no benefit of the doubt. I don't care who you are.
Right.
I'm
That's what I was saying. But
benefit of the doubt. Let me tell you something.
Stress.
And somebody told me this, and this is actual fact. And when he sees this, peace to you, because you are actually right. There is no benefit in doubt.
How?
You tell me how.
Explain to me. You make the statement. Explain to me how there's no benefit in doubt.
What's the benefit in doubt?
All right. Go ahead.
If you doubt something, what's the benefit you getting?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Huh? I'm going to break it down. You tell me.
Okay, so
why do you think you didn't answer my question? You asked me a question.
Hold on. That's my point. I asked you a question. I said I was told you think about the word. There is no benefit in doubt.
It depends on the context.
Doubt, when you doubt something, what is the benefit that you're getting out of that?
Because when you have doubt, that means you have a percentage where it could be good or bad. Doubt does not mean 100% bad. So the benefit of the doubt is there's a 50-50, like, okay, I'll say like flipping a coin. There's a 50-50 chance that you're going to get what you pick, right? The doubt is the other 50%. If I choose heads, there's a doubt that I'm going to get tails. That's 50%. So the benefit of the doubt is I got 50% chance to get heads. To say there's no benefit in doubt is dumb, because a doubt is not an absolute.
Hold on. So this is what I'm saying. Is that a choice that you have to flip that coin or not?
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the benefit of doubt. You asked why is there benefit?
But I'm going to show what you're saying. That's your choice. Your choice is to give the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with anxiety. I choose not to give give benefit of the doubt.
Right.
I'm going to show you who I am by me moving who I am. Either you're going to like it or you're not. You're going to show me who you are. Either I'm going to like it or not. I'm not giving you nothing until you show me who you are.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's your choice. But what I'm saying, I'm specifically...
And that ain't got nothing to do with anxiety. That comes from experience that when you do give somebody something before they show exactly who they are, then guess what? There is like you said, flipping a coin. If I ain't got no reason to flip a coin, and the only reason why I'm flipping a coin is to play a game.
Yeah, nah, I think, like...
So guess what? If I look at you and I see you from across the street, and I'm going to be like, yo, you know what? He seemed like a dude, a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Or, yo, I see him every day at Wawa. He speaks to me when I speak back, when I'm holding the door. He seemed like a nice guy. That's giving you benefit of the doubt, and I don't know nothing about you. So there's no reason for me to have no other conversation with you other than, yo, have a nice day. How you doing?
I think you take it to the extreme when I say benefit of the doubt. I'm not talking about giving somebody my address. I'm just saying I choose when I meet people to assume the best of them.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you why I choose not to. Because of this right here. Let's just say, I have an issue. Let's say me and you wasn't brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got an issue with me.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know you from a can of paint.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They might not know where I be at, but we had an altercation or something. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it's left there, or maybe I don't think it's left there. You know what I'm saying? That person happened to see me, and I'm having a conversation with you, right? They decide they're going to spin the block. Now they watching everything, and I'm having a long, drawn-on, key. Yeah, we dapping each other and all kind of shit, right? Mm-hmm. To that person that got a problem with me, who are you?
Yeah, you cool. I'm cool with you.
Okay then. Now, you giving me the benefit of the doubt could drag your ass into some shit that you have no clue what I'm involved in, what has nothing. A motherfucker fuck around and follow you right back here.
I understand that.
So therefore, I'm not giving nobody a benefit of nothing.
But that's one side of the coin. Also, I'll give you another example, because I knew you was going to say that, but that's one way of looking at it. And that's why I talked about a couple episodes ago about when we stay in the same mindset and we don't have we don't have the ability to stand, because you're like that, you think that way because of circumstance. I think that way too because of circumstance, and I choose not to keep that view because of other circumstances, right? Because in another situation, me sitting there talking to you, the person that knows me don't know you from a can of paint. We look like friends. They could come up with a business opportunity where we can make multi-million-dollar. And because you standing here talking to me, you can be in on that multi-million-dollar deal. Same situation, but it's flipped because one is ultra positive and one is ultra negative. They both have the opportunity.
I'm gonna tell you where I disagree with you on. Okay. Because most people, when they dealing with finances and things of that nature, if they dealing with, hold on, let me finish. I'll let you finish.
I'm not saying nothing.
If I'm discussing finances, I'm gonna say me. I don't know what he gonna do.
No,
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. If I got a business opportunity for him, I'm discussing that with him privately, and I'm gonna let him know. If you feel your man is okay, you can bring your man in, and then you will have to tell me, oh, that ain't my man. But I'm not discussing nothing with nobody I don't know.
We all talking about hypotheticals. What I'm saying is
you brought it out.
You brought the other one up, so I brought up the opposite. So what I'm saying is to you is,
I never seen nobody say they were standing nowhere and an opportunity just came up on them.
That's just like me
that.
saying I never physically seen nobody spin the block. So if my physical eyesight.
So you telling me you never ever heard?
I heard.
Okay.
But I've heard of that other thing happened too.
I said I never heard of it.
Okay, so that's my experience.
What you tell me who is rich right now that you heard of them being just in a conversation with somebody, and somebody else came up and started talking finances with them, like, that's openly talking finances with.
All right, so you ever watch the movie Pursuit of Happiness? I'm just saying, that's a true story. So that's what I'm saying. You can fix any narrative to fit your argument. All I'm saying is, as much as you have to the extreme negative, you can
well,
have the extreme positive.
Benefit of the doubt, and I won't.
That's fine.
I'm comfortable being who I am.
I'm comfortable being who I am.
I'm not,
like I told you when we talked about it before. You're not wrong for doing it.
I'm not giving nobody the benefit of the doubt on nothing.
I never said you was wrong for
Period.
that. What I'm saying is,
when you show me who you are, I can deal with you from who you are, and I can be like, yo, I like the person or I don't. Period, point blank. I'm not going into nothing thinking that, yo, guess what? He seemed like a nice guy because we had a couple of conversations. No, we're not having nothing. Period, point blank. Now, if I meet somebody through you, then the conversation is going to be different because this is somebody that you cool with. I'm your brother. So I'm going to be more cordial to that person. Now, if I met that person outside of here and don't know him from a can of paint, and then it comes out, they will tell you, like, hold on, time out. Yeah, I'll be seeing him all the time. Conversation be different. I didn't know that was your brother. Now I'm at the phone. He seemed like a nice dude. That's right. I'm totally different. You don't need to know who I am when I'm going in a Wawa, when I'm doing anything. Period. I'm not here to make friends. I got my friends and I'm cool. I don't need no more. Don't really want no more.
Like I said, you're not. I never said you were wrong for how you feeling.
No, I know that.
What's the name?
And I'm not saying you wrong.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you to say one side of the argument, you gotta talk about the other.
Well,
the other is a possibility too. Like what we're saying is, when I'm talking about giving benefit of the doubt, if you, for me, how I look at it is, you can't network, you can't build your network for whatever it is you want to do. You may fall into a business opportunity just by giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So
well, guess what? It is what it is. But back to what I was saying, as far as you saying I'm generalizing, because I'm going to look at it, I'm going to tell you like this, from experience. People tell you who they are, just in random conversation, and sometimes they try and, like, cover it up. And one thing about me, I'm a good judge of character, and I'll follow my gut. And I met a dude, and the dude happened to say, in an open forum, yo, I want to, apologize, if I come off like this because I believe people think that I'm still stuck in my old ways. Now, the dude didn't see me do anything, but I chuckled because everything the dude was talking about had me thinking two things. One, this dude he's heard that he's about to die, or he's sickly, and he's trying to make amends for something that he did, or he's been a racist most of his life, and now he's around a lot of black people, and he knows that somebody in here has figured this shit out. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now the whole time, this is all I'm thinking. Every time I come around the dude, this is all I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. Today is Wednesday. Last Friday, this shit came out. The shit came out. And I was sitting there like this. That shit's crazy. Because a person's conversation, without you being in the conversation, I don't know about you, but I have that innate ability to be in a conversation with you, but hearing what the fuck you saying over here. And I could be in both those conversations at the same time, not having the conversation over here, but listening. And the whole time, this dude gave me this opinion that, yo, you know what, he might be dying. You know what I mean? So he's trying to make amends to whoever it is, whoever his higher power is. But the shit came out Friday that he was a biker at one point, and he didn't fuck with black people at all. Mm-hmm. But if I'd have gave him a benefit of the doubt, I'd have been walking in every day. Every time I see him, yo, what's going on, man? How you doing? Because he's very soft-spoken, nice guy. But, like I said, my experience in dealing with people, sooner or later, they're going to tell you who they are. Mm-hmm. Without, maybe not telling you personally, not telling you verbatim, but in that conversation, they're going to tell you who the hell they are. And I was like, damn, this shit is crazy. And I sat there and was like, yo, I love who I am because I will never be caught up in a situation. Now, if a motherfucker catch me, he caught me. And I'm not being in no situation where I'm going to be around motherfuckers that you genuinely want harm to be done to me. And that's all I'm speaking to is those people. And there's more people than a little bit that want to see harm done to people other than themselves.
Yeah.
And they talking about it right now. Like you said, you don't watch the news, but they are talking about it openly on the news that right now what needs to happen in America is minorities need to stay with themselves and we need to be with ourselves. Because guess what? We don't mix, we da-da-da-da, and I'll be sitting there like, damn, well, let us be.
Nah, I know that stuff goes on, but I think that outlook of like, all right, yo, we just gonna stay here, they gonna stay there. I think it's a grim way of looking at the world.
Well, guess what?
Let me finish something. I'll let you rock. Let me rock. So, like, when I look at it like this, like, and I don't say this stuff like my outlook. I'm more of a glass half full person. That's not to say I haven't been burned by people, right? So when he's giving y'all examples of how he's been burned, I've been burned in those exact same ways. But that has not discouraged me from being like, all right, and like I said, he's not wrong about how he feels. He took his experience, and it took him one way. My same experiences took me another way. Where it's just like, yo, all right, fine. That one person did that to me, cool. I'm going to keep it moving. Because I look at it like this. The next person that comes up, each opportunity is another opportunity. I look at it the same way as like business. If I was an entrepreneur, right, and I have a product, and my first product that I try to sell, the demand didn't meet what I thought it was, right? I didn't get any sales. Should that discourage me from continuing to sell products in that same line, right? I may miss out on that next product that may pop for me, right? Same thing, I look at it the same way like I talk about when I have conversations with people, I look at that like an investment, right? I'm investing in people. So just because the first person that I talked to, or the second, or the third, or the 100th person I talked to was a bad investment, that don't mean 101 is going to be a bad one too. That's just how I look at it. I'm an eternal optimist, right? He's not. I'm a glass half full. He's glass half empty.
That's not true.
You know, in that regard, it is.
No, it's not.
When you talk about benefiting,
you are investing, but you're not investing in people. You're investing in yourself.
Nah, no. What I'm saying, like I told you before, when I say an investment, I'm investing energy, right? So I am invested in myself, but I'm talking about investing energy in somebody else. It takes energy to speak to somebody else or carry on a conversation beyond that, right? So I am investing energy into that person. That's why That's why I say I'm investing in them.
Okay. Now, as far as you telling somebody who I am, you dead wrong, because I'm not a glass half empty dude. I'm a glass half full, and my whole thing is this: I'm not gonna try and throw fucking sugar on shit and act like it's a crumb cake or some shit.
No, I'm talking about in the regard of giving people the benefit of the doubt.
And I'm going to tell you something. You're right that you're investing, but you looking at it totally wrong, because you're investing in yourself.
Don't say wrong. I ain't say you was wrong.
Hold on. By saying that I'm a glass half empty dude, that's saying you're wrong.
No,
because
it's not.
You're not optimistic. You always pessimistic if you're looking at it like that.
You said you're pessimistic about everybody.
No, I did not say that. What I said is, if you show me you're something other than what you are, then I believe you to be. Either I have a choice to like you or not.
So what does it mean?
You know
if
what I mean?
You don't give them anybody.
I'm not giving nobody the benefit of the doubt. Well, if that's what you want to call it, then that's fine. Then you look at it how you want to look at it, how I am. But I'm gonna tell you what you're doing that you'll never get back. You invest in your time in 100 people that you'll never get that time back.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're investing your time in people that, a lot of these people, that one person could fuck around and fuck your whole life up, and you invested your time and your energy, like you said, and your life in giving somebody the benefit of the doubt.
And I choose do the opposite too.
I choose not to.
I understand that.
Because
but you don't say one side, don't say the other.
What I'm saying is this. As far as I'm concerned, I've been very successful doing exactly what I've done. I ain't asked nobody for nothing. I don't use nobody for nothing. I get what I want the way it's supposed to be done. By hard work, period, point blank. Now, if somebody decides they want to lend a hand, guess what? It depends on me if I want to take that hand. Because every hand ain't to be taken. All money ain't good money. I learned that early
That's
when
true.
I used to do the things that I was doing. All money ain't good money. Just because you got money in your pocket, that means sometimes that money could get you locked the fuck up because it got some markings on the money and they waiting for you to spend it. So everything that you think is good is not good.
Everything you think is bad is not always bad.
I'm not saying, but what I'm saying to you is your track record is showing me that a majority of this is bad for you. Guess what? I'm going to use as less of that particular product as possible.
I'm not saying you're wrong in that. What I'm saying is, you saying less as possible. I'm saying, if you're saying that you don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt, that is pessimism.
Okay. Well, guess
Right?
what?
So, what I'm saying is, by me saying you're glass half empty, that's saying you're pessimistic. By me saying I'm glass half full, I'm optimistic. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Right? There's an opportunity that you're going to do what he said. There's an opportunity that you can do the opposite of that. And that's all I'm saying.
So, it being the fact that you said that you've been in situations like I have, how many times have it been opposite, opposed to what you said that
I've got examples on both sides of the
No,
coin.
I said how many
I can't.
times?
I can't count my entire life.
Then don't.
No, I'm saying when you how I feel the way I feel.
But then guess what? You can't give the narrative that this is the way you are and then you can't say, okay, well I can
That's
tell
not
you.
true. I'm telling you I got examples on both sides.
Hold on, everybody got examples on both
All
sides.
right, so I'm choosing to focus on the positive.
So if it's less on this side that's positive, why would you be on the side? Why would you look at it like, yo, okay, there's more people. What my point is more people in this country that want to see you stuck in a situation where you can't get out of it. If it wasn't true, then guess what? Why would you give anybody benefit of the doubt?
So,
when they're passing laws that directly affect you and your children.
So let me say this then. So because what you're basically saying is you playing the percentages in that, right? Right? Right, you're playing the percentages, right? All right. So if that's the case, why would anybody pursue a career in professional sports?
Oh, come on, man.
I'm just saying. That's your
right.
plan.
I don't know.
All right, then. But that's pushed on our community. Right? Yes. By the entire community. When I was coming up, nobody was talking to me about doing things professionally as far as like in the like corporate world or anything like that. It was, if you were successful, the success in our community is promoted in sports and entertainment, and those percentages are mad small. So like I talk about, like when I say we choose what we want to be, like when we want to be what's the word I used last time? We're resourceful. We're also choosing what we want to be optimistic about, because there's small percentages in everything. But that's why I'm saying I have examples on both sides. I can't count. I'm not keeping a tally throughout my entire life. Every time somebody, you told me that I can't say that because I didn't have a numeric value.
No, I did not. I'm saying you took it as that way. I said how many more times you could have said it was more times that me giving the benefit of the doubt didn't work out than it was times that it did work out. I ain't saying nobody could come up and say, hold on, nobody can sit here and say, oh, 5,051 times I've been done wrong and 6,021. I'm not talking about, let's be realistic here when we having a conversation.
I'm being realistic. That's not a good question.
Yes, it is, because it tells you know how many times you giving the benefit of the doubt to somebody, you were done wrong.
Right. So it's always going to be, you're always going to be done wrong more than you're done right.
So
that's like saying if you work in sales, you shouldn't work in sales. You always going to get more no's than yeses.
Listen. Because you choose to be naive to the fact that you're willing to keep going down the same path of saying, yo, guess what? I'm gonna let them fuck me over another umpteen time.
That's not what I'm saying.
You basically what you're saying. You just sat here and said.
That's not.
You just sat here and said that that I was right. You have been done wrong more times than you have been positive by giving the benefit of the doubt. So if that's the case, then you would be more guarded in your approach, because you would say, yo, right now, at my time and my age and things that I got going on in my life, the last thing I want is somebody to come and invade my space and invade my serenity to where I'm in a position where that wrong thing could tear my whole life apart.
It depends on how much access you give. That's why I say when you taking benefit of the doubt, like me saying that this person is in my life, like in my family and things like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm choosing to believe people are good, and for the most part, right? And when I say like done wrong, like when I'm talking about people that have the ability to do wrong to you, yeah, and I could be wrong in saying I've been done wrong more times than done right, right? Because I obviously I'm here, right? So I ain't been done wrong that much, right? And like I said, I have examples on both sides. That's my answer. I have examples on both sides.
Everybody
right?
does.
Right. So my point is, I'm choosing to be optimistic. You're
Okay,
choosing
so,
to. So what I'm saying is, everything that we do in life, there's always more bad, and I won't say always. In most cases, if you choose a career path, like I said, athletics, you still ain't answer that. That shit is a real small percentage. You're talking about 1%.
No, because I'm gonna tell you what I can answer. A lot of people have dreams and they go after their dreams, whatever it be. Whatever it be. A lot of these dudes that, a majority, let me put it that way again. A majority of these dudes not going to find a job, period, because they're student athletes, but they're really not students. They're more athletic than they are students. It's a small majority of these dudes that come out here. That's why you see these dudes go broke and be abused with their money and things of that nature. Because they're not mentally savvy.
All right, so I'll give you another example. Why get married?
What do you mean why get married?
The percentages show that more marriages are ending in divorce than staying together.
Yeah.
All right, then. So that's what I'm saying. We choosing to be pessimistic.
Hold on. What I'm choosing is what happened to me. If I was never married, I don't know what anybody else marriage, why they fell apart and things of that nature. All I could deal with is what happened to me.
Yeah. You told me I was wrong. I never said you was wrong.
Okay, well, guess what? Maybe wrong is a poor choice. But guess what? I look at it as you're wrong because if you're going to keep going down a road where more people could have harm to you, why would you keep going down that road? Why not guard yourself? Where guess what? Now a person has to come to you and they have to be genuinely who they are. Opposed to you trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and then finding out at a later time that they're not who they say they are.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand your viewpoint. I'm just saying my viewpoint is the opposite. And you said I was wrong. I never said you was wrong for that viewpoint. I understand your viewpoint totally. I just said I'm the opposite. And the way I look at it
to speak to your point, like you saying, you said originally what I said was to go along, get along, because you said, well, people, the reason why they say that, maybe they see the good in people in America.
Yeah.
That don't have nothing to do with rich or poor.
I mean, they could be.
That don't have nothing to do with rich or poor.
That's true.
And I feel like they're wrong, too, because for the most part, America has shown you. All right, because if somebody's showing you what they're doing, then guess what? Why would you keep walking? If you keep walking around the corner fucking 6 times and somebody bang you around the head on that corner, why would you keep walking for 7 times?
That's not the
scenario.
That's not the scenario though, because you're being presented with different people each time. That's the same thing. That's why I said
it could be a different person.
Right,
it's a person gonna come around this corner, bang him upside his head. He gonna keep walking around this corner.
What I'm saying is, I can't call you wrong. Because that's your viewpoint. You choosing to look at one side of the spectrum, I'm choosing to look at the opposite side. And me, the way I look at that is, that's also where I get, as far as when I look at people and I say, they really don't have like that growth mindset. Because and I understand it, you're stuck in a certain mind frame and you can't get out of that. And when I see people like that, I'm like, yo, you limiting yourself. Because there is, like, that translates to other things, right? So I look at it with things like this. Let's say practically, right? So let's say like working out. You could be trying to do a specific movement every day. Let's say, for example, it's a weight that you want to snatch, right? A movement or a snatch. Let's say bench press, because most people know what a bench press is, right? A weight that you want to bench press. Let's say it's 225. You want to be able to do it 10 times. Every day you go in there and try to do 225 10 times, you fail at the same number. Right? So you do that for however many times, and you like, well, fuck it, I ain't gonna never be able to do 225 10 times, so you stop.
It's not the same.
It is. I said to me. I said to me. In my opinion, that's the same. Let me finish my statement.
That's the wrong analogy.
For me, it's not, because I look at it as. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. For me, it is because you're being presented with an obstacle, right? There's a goal that you want to get to. You're being presented with an obstacle. You keep hitting that obstacle every time. You hit the obstacle a certain number of times to the point where you're like, well, nothing's ever going to change. So my mind is going to stay here, and I'm not trying to get past that, right? And I think it's even less drastic from a standpoint of dealing with people, because like I said, it's different every time. You get presented with different energies. A lot of the time, when I'm talking about investing, you can feel right off the bat, like if it's something that we need to keep going into. That's why I said I give people the benefit of the doubt. And that's just my opinion. I don't think you can tell somebody that they're wrong with how they view people, or how they choose to give people the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm not telling you wrong, and that's the complete opposite of the way I think.
What I'm saying you wrong is because when I originally made the statement that in America you have people saying America ain't that bad. You said they was wrong, and the reason why was because
I never said they was wrong.
Well, you said the reason why is because they got something to gain.
Yeah,
financial gain.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that they're wrong because they're not seeing what we seen. It's not happening to them.
I didn't say that's not
All right, so
wrong. Their perception is what it is because of.
So is perception a reality, or is because you're saying perception?
Perception is not a reality.
Okay, so that means they're wrong.
No, it's not. No, it doesn't. I can't.
Perception is something you perceive it to be. That don't mean that you're right. That's something you believe it to be.
Right, but how can you tell somebody they're wrong with what they believe?
Because if you know that this is not true, it's wrong.
If somebody feels that America is
Chris,
great to them, and you can't tell them they're wrong.
Chris, if you telling me that this is, if I'm telling you,
you're right in a black and white sense.
That's what I said.
But that's not black and white. That's not black and white. If somebody's telling you they feel like the country is great to them, they don't feel any issues with how things are, you can't tell them they're wrong for feeling that way. Okay. That's their feeling.
Okay. You're right.
Feelings are not black and white.
Listen. All right.
They're not.
Okay. You're right.
Because the feelings are driven by emotion.
Guess what? A lot of people have those feelings because it's better to say America is great and they want to go along. Because if you create a stir, you're going to have a problem. That's why you made it your business to say to me tonight, yo, you can't be saying all white people. Yo, I understand what you mean, but I don't care if nobody else understands.
No.
Because the
that's
people
not
that
what I said
me,
that. That's not why I said that. I said that to you because of how it made me feel.
Okay, well, guess what?
Let me get that clear. I'm going to explain it to you. Let me make this clear. Anything that I ever disagree with you with or combat you on is not for nobody else. No, but I do, because your statement makes it seem like, all right, so I got to explain it then. So don't say I don't have to, because you clearly misunderstood.
You uncomfortable.
Because
if you understood what I was
let me finish. I'm telling you why I had to say what you were saying, because my wife is white. So I would never, and the way you were saying, what you were saying was like, it's just us and we're excluding them. That's how it sounded to me.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is your wife a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant?
I don't even know. No.
She's not white. And that's what I've been making a point that everybody
you have to explain what you're saying.
Hold on.
You know what you mean. Nobody else know what you mean.
Time out. You just sat here and said, before you said it, yeah. I understand. So I'm saying, okay, boom, when you saying that you understand what I'm saying, but you trying to get me to correct it. I've been saying since we started this shit, everybody that when I say white, everybody ain't white. Now your wife, if I'm not mistaken, her ancestry is Irish, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Ireland, do you know the original Irish are not from Ireland?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay then. So guess what? And they were.
So what I'm saying to you is you
time out.
All right,
if I'm sitting here saying, and I'm talking about what you're saying, and you made my point for me. You just said that you wasn't correcting me because of nobody else. You said you were correcting me for how you felt. And so then your correction was, the reason why you corrected me is because the way you feel, because your wife is white. And your wife is not white. A white person is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. And what would happen if they walk in here right now, the first person they'll kill is her. You know why? Because they will look at her skin.
But what I'm saying to you is, and what I've been
so
trying
to... You wouldn't even win.
No. What I'm saying to you is, when you say these things, right, you have to explain what you're saying.
Chris.
You didn't say that at first.
Come out. How many episodes?
You didn't say that in the previous episode. You just said everybody ain't white. You did not break it down.
If you're saying that you understand.
Right.
Okay.
And my understanding was why I interjected.
Hold on. If you saying you understand, it is your duty, not mine, your duty as a civilized black man that knows himself, knows his culture, to teach your wife and your children who they are.
That's
and
guess what?
Hold on, time out.
That's not what we're talking about.
Let me finish.
That's not what we're talking
then
about.
Then that means she would never feel, her or anybody around her would feel, wouldn't you
but that's not what I'm talking about.
You said you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Because
I didn't say I felt uncomfortable. That's not one of my words.
What did you say you corrected me?
I said I corrected you because of how it made me feel.
Okay.
I didn't say what my feeling was.
Hold on. So if you said you said I understand what you're saying, but you have to explain because you're saying you're not including white people. And I said again, like I've been saying, and we were supposed to touch on this a couple of episodes ago, but you wanted to go on a different route, and I always let you pick the topic, and I'm fine with it. You said that you understand, and every time I say everybody ain't white, I bring up the application that they have in America because of your pigment of your skin, the complexion of your skin, you either white, black, other, or Spanish. So pretty much they're making everybody pick. And people are picking and don't know what they're picking. They're picking off their skin complexion or the lack thereof of a percentage of melanin in their skin. If you understood what I was saying, you would know that the KKK, the Aryans, and all of that shit will come in here, and the first person that had this, and that's why I asked you about who's real Italian. Because I was working with a dude one day, and we was watching something. He was watching something on TV. He's Italian. The dude walk around with cowboy boots and all this shit, and it happened to be a jail documentary where the Aryan nation started flipping out on Mexicans and blacks in the yard. And he was like this, oh, this getting me geeked up, da 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 da. I was like, yeah, well, for what? Oh man, you know, it just gets me geeked up. You know, I'm not racist, but you know, I believe in standing up. You know, and you know, the whites. I said, so what are you? Oh, I'm Italian. I said, okay. I said, so if they ran up in here right now, who's the first person they gonna kill? What do you mean? Now he looked at me. I said, no, we having a conversation, let's talk. You can be totally honest on what you feel. If they came up in here right now, who would the first person they would go after? You. No, they wouldn't. They would go after you because they look at your skin complexion and they call you a nigger lover. So you go against everything that they embody and they embrace. So when I'm talking about that, so everybody says I made him uncomfortable. So anybody,
you made me uncomfortable.
you made it seem that way. So I'm saying that. So now what I'm saying to you is this, to the people that's watching. What I mean by what I'm saying, and I've been saying it over and over again, and for those that are mentally capable to understand, white people, everybody ain't white. And most people I know get that.
Alright, so let me explain myself. So, you have been saying everybody ain't white, but until now, you haven't expounded on what you meant by that. So, let me finish. Let me finish, man. I just let you rock. Let me rock. Alright? So, me saying I understood just surface level. I admit I didn't understand that there was a deeper meaning behind what you said everybody ain't white. Cool. Alright? So when you're saying what you're saying, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm like, okay, you saying black empowerment, us come together, I'm with all that. Then you're saying we don't need them. That's something you said, right? When I hear that, my understanding prior to you just breaking it down is just like, okay, what this country considers white people, you don't view them as being something that we need to be a part of. So why I'm telling you to explain that, because it's clearly a deeper meaning. I understood there was a deeper meaning. You need to break that down, because I know I'm not the only one that feels that way.
I don't give a fuck who don't understand.
So like,
when you say you understand something,
I said my understanding. I thought I understood.
Okay, but my point is, if you don't understand something, don't say you understand.
But if you don't listen, I didn't know I didn't understand is what I'm saying. When you say say to me, let's be clear. We'll talk about stuff and you tell me you get it, and then when I break it down, you be like, oh no, I didn't know you meant it like that. It's the same shit.
You'll never hear me say I understand.
That's your fronting. But go ahead.
If I don't understand it,
you think you understand it until it goes deeper.
Guess what? If you start changing what you do on this podcast, you'll say one thing and mean something, and I understand that part of what you mean. But then when I combat it or whatever, you'll go back and change the, oh, well, no, I didn't mean it like, oh, so now I don't understand.
I actually keep saying the same thing.
Like you, hold on. First of all, so who are you talking about, the oppressor? You talking about white people?
Yeah.
Okay then. So guess what? I'm saying I understand what you're talking about. So in the same case, you could say that your wife is an oppressor.
But that's a comment that she would be a part of the oppressor.
How can she be a part of the oppressor?
I'm saying as far as what the viewpoint is in this country.
That's
what I'm saying. But my wife understands that.
This is why I say, and I'm gonna say it again, and hopefully for the last time, education is key to knowing who you are, and you dealing with somebody that obviously you didn't understand who she was.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe and I'm not speaking for her, maybe she didn't know, or maybe she did. But this is where you being the dominant being that you say you know you are, this is where the conversation changes, and guess what? Yo, this is what it is. This is who we are. We only interracial because you're Irish and I'm black. But outside of that, she's not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. She's not a white woman. She's an Irish woman. Mm-hmm. The original Irish are not from Ireland.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
And off camera, and this is why this is shocking to me, off camera, I explained to you without thinking that I had to go in depth with you, because I explained the whole paddy wagon and everything.
Yeah, no, I
So I told you, your Irish ain't white. Italians ain't white.
I get all of that, but what you not understanding is, like I said, my understanding I can agree was wrong as far as I thought I understood what you're saying. That's the only reason I was like, I could break it down.
And that's why if you would have stuck with the lessons, you would know all of that, because all of that breaks down into all of that.
I was never into the lessons.
Okay, but this is my point. If you would have did that when I was trying to teach you as a youngin', you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, like you want to talk about, we were supposed to talk about religion and all that. You know what I'm saying? You would know that all of this stuff is relative into knowing who you are.
Yeah, but I know.
And you would know, like I told you, a lot of people don't know their history.
Yeah, I know my history. What I'm saying to you is, and what I'm saying to you in that regard is like, yo, for me, that's the way I took it in that regard. Like I said, my understanding was off in what you were explaining. It didn't sound like you were going there to me. So that's why I said what I said. And that's just it. So, like, if my understanding was off, my understanding was off. Cool. But it
goes back to what I was saying. You was clarifying, because obviously it was touching something in you.
I needed
for somebody else, because
it wasn't for somebody else. It was for me, because I didn't.
Then why would you keep saying you understand when you talk?
Because I thought I understood it until you kept saying that.
So guess what? I said this a couple of times on the podcast.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you call me and be like, yo, or say it then? Like, hold on, you know, I'm you losing me when you saying this.
But I did though.
No, you never said nothing until now.
No, that's not true. If you go and rewatch the episode,
you said to me, "What is white?"
No.
You said my wife is
no, because like I said, you just broke it down today.
Because you stopped me.
All right, but what I'm saying is, when you got in on this conversation when we were talking about Meghan Markle,
Right.
I had a similar interjection when you and in that conversation, it was the exact point when I was like, so how can you I was like, I'm in an interracial relationship. I said all of this.
No. This is totally different.
But it's the same context.
No, it's not.
All right.
Because what you said was you not including white people. I got a white wife.
Right. That was what you were talking about today. But what I'm saying is a similar interjection because it was on the same guidelines. I said I got a white wife tonight. I said I'm in an interracial marriage when we were talking about Meghan Markle. When you were talking about how she couldn't give them the benefit of the doubt and I was like, if she didn't give them the benefit of the doubt and was worrying about how they may feel about her, she couldn't fully give herself to her husband.
Right.
We talked about this.
But we didn't discuss you having a white wife. Until you said it today. No, you did not.
What's me saying I'm in an interracial marriage? That's me saying I'm in
a black and a Puerto Rican interracial?
You know my wife, right?
I'm asking you. No. What I'm saying to you is, when you said interracial, hold on. You've been saying that you understood me. You disagreed with that. So when you said you're in an interracial relationship, that's not saying that you're not understanding and that you got a white wife. A black and a Spanish is interracial, correct?
That is. But you know my wife, right?
Man, I don't give a fuck.
That's why I say it for me. That's why I say it for me. It's not for everybody else. So that's why I'm saying, if I say I'm in an interracial marriage,
but you know
my marriage, though.
Chris, you stopped me tonight and made it very clear you got to clear this up for me.
Right, because clearly you didn't understand where I was coming from then.
No, because guess what? You just left it at that.
I
made it clear. And hold on. And I'm going to tell you how real this shit is. So everybody clear. I've been waiting for him to say it. Because I've been saying, because people been calling me like, yo, do you really understand? And I'm like, yeah, he understands. I was like, why wouldn't he? They're like, yo, he don't understand. He don't understand. He's sitting there saying the culture shit and all that. He don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
He don't understand, why? And I was like, then he's going to have to say that he don't understand. He's bringing this shit up. And he's talking about the oppressor and all this other shit. Then guess what? He's telling me he understands.
But I'm not understanding what the only thing
you would understand.
Hold on. The only thing I didn't understand was how you were breaking down white people, because you did not explain it.
If I'm saying that everybody ain't white, and you understand, if I'm saying everybody with the complexion ain't white, because they make you put it on the application because of your complexion, this, that, and the third.
Right.
You would have said at that point, hold on, time out. I'm confused.
I wasn't confused in that regard because I broke down to you the fact of how white people were created from the albinos. So I wasn't confused about the fact that everybody ain't white. What I was confused about is everybody's not white. What's the breakdown of white? What you just gave me tonight was the breakdown of white.
Say that. Don't say
I did say that just now.
No, you said it, but the way you stopped the conversation was it was making you uncomfortable because of your situation.
Okay. I just don't understand what you feel I don't understand about the culture.
If you understood, then you would know that, yo, guess what? He's not talking about Italians. He's not talking about people that are not white. You would know because you was taught, you went to college. White is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant who don't like other people other than them. That is the Aryan Nation. The Ku Klux Klan is made up of a bunch of people who want to be white. Because that's popular in this country. So what I'm saying is, why do I want to mingle with them? Why would I want to mingle with them knowing that they don't give a fuck about me?
I think, this is me personally.
And hold on, and I'm going to tell you something else that I don't know, you just think totally different than me. Because you brought up something that, to me, you brought up something last episode talking about the class and you was the only black person. I wouldn't even participated in that fucking class and in that bullshit, because that to me was racist.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't have participated. I would have told them, yo.
So this is what I'll say. I don't think it was racist. I don't think that activity was racist. And me personally, I do think totally different than you, right? And that's why the show works, because we don't think alike at all. And most things.
So
like what I think.
You thought, what was the purpose where the numbers totally were skewed towards you as the only black kid, where more than likely, or let me say, more times than not, the professor might have known your background off of transcripts and things of that nature. So why would a white teacher want to do that kind of experiment? What are they teaching? They're using you as the fucking they're using you as the prop. Why am I participating in something like that? That's racial.
I get what you're saying there. I get you thinking that way. I don't feel it was a racist activity, and if you do feel it's racist, you are entitled to feel that way. What I took from the activity actually made me proud, to be honest. So what I took from that activity was I was the best person in the class, and my professor, after the activity, we still communicate to this day. Shout out to Dr. Laliker. But we communicated after that because she was also my advisor, and she asked me how did I feel after it, and she was like, look, I didn't mean to if you took it the wrong way, and I was like, nah. I was like, to be honest with you, I'm proud to be where I am because everything that you showed, everything that came out of that activity showed me why I wasn't supposed to be here, and I'm the best. And from that activity, I took that I'm the best person in your class. Because against all those odds and things that said I shouldn't be here, I'm here, and I'm on the same level and surpassing a lot of what these kids are doing that didn't have to go through what I went through. So it made me proud to be who I am.
Right.
So
and I'm gonna tell you this, I'm proud of you too. But you proved my point. Not only was she your advisor, you said she was your advisor, so she knew what the fuck she was doing, and the fact that she even had the conversation with you let you know that I did that for a reason.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said,
and what happens, and see, you brought it up.
Yeah.
Things being hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
The fact that you got through that and graduated, I'm proud of you, and I tell anybody that. But that was a circumstance where that was done to you to get you the fuck up out of it.
Right, and that's why I say me.
Okay, so it's
racist. What I say, like I said, you're not wrong if you think it's racist. I just don't. But me personally, that's why I say we think differently. I choose to be optimistic. You're pessimistic. That's an example of optimism versus pessimism. Me personally, I looked at it because I chose not to think about it that way, and I use that as motivation in the battery in my back.
Okay, but that's a fact. The fact that you use that, you just sat here and said you use that as a battery.
Yeah.
That ain't being pessimistic.
Hold on. That's not being pessimistic.
Hold on. What I'm saying to you ain't being pessimistic. That's a fact. And the fact that you use that as a battery means that you looked at it the way I'm looking at it. You just choose not to say it. Because you couldn't use it as a battery if you didn't look at it like, yo, this is some bullshit.
So everything that you use as a battery is a negative?
Chris, you just sat here and said.
I'm asking you though.
A lot of things are that.
A lot or all?
A lot. No, a lot.
All right.
Not
that's what I'm saying. Right. So my point is, you said the fact that I used it as a battery means that it was wrong.
Because you just sat here and said that she talked to you and you used it because of everything that came out of it. But the mere fact, when somebody has to explain or wants to explain something they did to you, 9 times out of 10 they know they fucked you over. You just sat here and said that most people, that activity was done to get most people in your situation out of it.
That's not what I said. That's what
you
said.
Your head.
I said I'm sitting here listening to you.
Okay, well,
you said that's used to get him out of here. I said that activity was to show that I based on my circumstances, I shouldn't have made it to where I was.
Okay, but now you said you use that as a battery. Now here's my thing. if a person has to explain why they did something to you,
Yeah.
that's letting you know that they know they did something wrong.
I don't think that's always true.
Okay.
But like I said, like I opened
Did
it
she
with,
explain to anybody? Did she explain that to the whole class?
everybody else is the same.
No. Did she explain to the class what she explained to you?
No,
All right,
everybody
then.
else was the same.
Hold on.
I was the only person in my
Hold
situation.
on. It don't matter.
All right, but like I said, like I started this off with, I think you got a problem with taking, you want to tell everybody they're wrong because they don't think the way they think you think. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I said, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. I just don't feel that way. You can't tell me I'm wrong because I don't feel the same way you feel. And that's why I say people who are stuck in their ways, you just think that that's the only way to be.
That's fine. Because guess what? That's like you saying somebody small-minded that choose not to own a crib.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah. You can say that. That's fine.
All right.
And like I said before I started this, and when I said that, that's my perception, right? I said that's to me.
And I said that's my perception.
And I didn't say you were wrong. Either time.
The bottom line to the whole
Either
shit
time.
is this. Like I said, and I'm going to say it again. You have your way of looking at things. I have my way of looking at things. And I'm comfortable in my skin doing what I do because I got the way I got. And most people in my situation don't make the money I make.
Mm-hmm.
People that didn't do or wasn't in the situation that I was in don't make the money that I make. So guess what? I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me. And anybody that sit here and say, yo, I understand, but then gonna say, oh, I don't understand, or yo, I got, come on, man, I see through all this bullshit. It's period. Because I know who I am. Period.
So speak on it.
Like I just said, I'm talking to the camera.
You talking about
hold on,
what happened with us?
No,
What's the bullshit? I'm
gonna tell you
why
okay, you're right. Because I'm gonna say this. I believe that you wouldn't have stopped me if it was. I'm not saying your wife. If it was anybody watching, like, yo, guess what? What's up? What's up?
No.
Well, guess what? Like I said, that is my belief.
That's your belief.
And I've been believing it for a minute.
But that's why you're reacting that way.
No,
because like I said, and that's kind of proven to what I said before.
If somebody tell me they understand something, there's no reason for them to come back and say I don't understand.
Monty, you've done the same thing to me.
All right.
So that's why I say.
Like I said, once you start changing the narrative.
No, I'm not talking about changing the narrative.
If you change the narrative, and I'll say, yo, guess what? You know what? I misunderstood what you said. I believe that you were saying this, but now you're saying
that's what I just said to you.
But
what I'm saying,
I understand the same thing.
Okay, but today you expounded on it.
That's why you stopped me and said you didn't understand.
Right, because I'm seeing where it's going, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's talking about something different. So let me stop.
I'm talking about something different.
Like I said, this is mine.
You said it made you uncomfortable.
In my opinion, I was saying the same thing in the situations where you did that too. But like I said, yo, bottom line is, when people don't have the same view that you have, you think they're wrong. I'm not saying that because you think differently than me, you're wrong. I'm just saying you think differently.
You said that about people that
don't
want to help.
I said that's small-minded in my opinion.
So
that's me saying it's my opinion.
Okay, so why can't I have mine? Why does my opinion have to be different from you having your opinion?
All right, you're right. Good. But I did not say anybody was wrong. I said.
But I said somebody small-minded is saying they're wrong.
All right. I don't think that's saying they're wrong. I said
that's saying they're wrong without saying it.
No, when I say somebody
that's saying it without saying it.
It's not. What it's saying is they don't have the capacity to think bigger than what they are thinking. That's not saying they're wrong. They're thinking small versus thinking big. You're not wrong. You're just thinking smaller.
Okay.
So, like,
we gonna agree to disagree.
Yeah, but like, what was the name? I don't think. Well, what I want you to expound on is, like I said, you just said you see through the bullshit. So, what bullshit am I spitting to you?
Because, like I said, you sitting here saying that you understand what I'm saying. Now all of a sudden, 11 episodes. Well, we speak on in the first episode. So 9 episodes later, now all of a sudden you don't understand.
When have I ever needed somebody to say something to me for me to?
No, that's what I'm
all right then. So
you asked me a question. I'm answering.
I'm responding with a question to you. When have I ever?
I don't know.
You know.
I don't know.
You do know.
I really don't.
I've never.
I know what anybody
No. You didn't even let me finish my question. When have I ever needed somebody to say something to me for me to confront you about something that I felt some type of way about? or that I've never done that to you.
Okay, so if I'm saying to you,
So why? No, what I'm saying to you
made my point.
No, what I'm saying to you is now, because you said you see through the bullshit.
For
It gotta be
9
somebody that said something to me.
For 9
That's what you just
episodes,
said.
you said you understood exactly, because I kept asking you,
Yeah.
do you understand? You like, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then you went into being the oppressor and all that. And I'm saying, yo, guess what? People got to know that all this is education. You said, I know. I understand. I know who I am. I know the black man, da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. So then you wouldn't come 9 episodes later and be like, yo, hold on. I'm lost. I'm not understanding.
Right. I was.
Why are we on a different... Why are we talking about something different today than we wasn't talking about 9 episodes ago?
No, like I said, it was just genuinely misunderstood by where it was going because you lost me. I was like, okay, maybe I don't understand. So, because when I didn't understand...
Okay, so last episode you didn't understand when I said I brought it to Jews.
Yeah.
Sticking together.
No, I did understand that.
Okay, so what's different than what I said today than I said last week?
You did not break down what you meant by white people.
Okay, hold on. I said, hold on.
Today was the first day you said white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Protestant. Hold on.
But
you asked.
But I'm judging on where the story is going. So like I said,
last episode I said that we need to build with each other and be with each other. Everybody want to move away from each other, go and play golf with Tom.
Right.
Don't want to play with us.
And what did I say when you said that?
You said, I don't look at it like that.
No, I didn't say that.
Did you ask me what white people are?
No, because when you said that, I was like, who's trying to go play golf?
Okay, but did you say...
I kept asking you what you getting.
Okay, so hold on. But what I said was, if we stay together and build with each other, the Jews don't want to mix with the oppressor or nothing. The same thing I'm saying tonight. But tonight, hold on, time out. You can't say that. And I said, before you stop me again, I said, I'm not talking about all white people. You know it's going to be white people that understand who they are.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is, tonight was the first time when I stopped you, because I was like, I'm not on board with excluding white people. Then you started to break down what you meant by white people.
No, I broke it down when you asked me.
Right, because I asked twice. But what I'm saying to you is this, right? Bottom line, right? Bottom line. Clearly, you don't know that I've never needed anybody.
I just said I don't know what anybody said to you that make you come. No,
that's not what that wasn't my question though. My question to you was, when in my 34 years of existence have I ever needed somebody to put the battery in my back to come to you and say something to you?
You changing the name?
No, I'm not. No, all right, so fine. Say something to me that would make me come to you. That doesn't happen with me.
You was never in a situation.
I have been.
Hold on. You was never in a situation where it might be uncomfortable. Where, like okay, like what?
It doesn't you. That's my point.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying to you is, I would never nobody could ever say anything outside of me and you, because this is deeper than a podcast. Right? So if I'm asking you a question, if I don't understand something, that's real. Like I'm not on here sugarcoating nothing for you.
Well,
let me finish, because you clearly got me fucked all the way up.
You got me fucked up.
That's not what I said then either. That's how you took it.
Whatever.
But when you saying you see through the bullshit, I ain't never bullshitted you.
Let me finish. No,
because there was something I did need clarity on where you was going, so I needed that. So I stopped you. But I ain't never bullshitted you in my entire life.
Right.
I ain't never gonna bullshit you.
Okay.
So don't do that.
All
don't do that. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
And because that could go somewhere else. This is not. We on a podcast, I ain't never gonna front or fake to you on a podcast, and if anybody was to say something to me, that wouldn't be no shit for me to address you on camera. Like, come on, man, we bigger than that. Like, don't play me like that.
I'm not playing you.
That is playing me.
Hold on, you hold on. Well, if you took it that way, I apologize that you took it that way, but you can't sit here. I don't care what anybody talking about. It don't have to be me. You can't sit here and tell somebody for 9 weeks, you understand what they're saying, and then all of a sudden, hold on. You got to make clarity.
Yeah, because it was like, what's the name? Like I said,
ain't nothing been different. Look at the podcast.
For me, I do. I watched the episode.
Okay, then.
So what I'm telling you, what I'm saying to you is where it was going. I'm like, okay, well, I see where he's going. All right, now hold up. Let me get clarity, because I thought I knew where you was going with this, but it sounds like something else, so let me ask. That's just me talking to my brother. Like, I don't give a damn about the camera, right? If we was having this conversation tonight off camera, it would have been the same thing. Like, when I'm talking to you, I'm really having a conversation with you. Like, this right here is us just talking. It's another way for us to meet up. What I'm saying to you is, it's not no open on type shit.
Going forward, if you don't understand, say you don't understand.
But what I'm telling you is, I thought I understood, so I'm saying I understand.
Yeah,
I had an understanding.
But don't say that it went somewhere different tonight, because it did.
It did for me. For me.
Okay.
My understanding, it went somewhere different for me.
That's what would make me think, and anybody watching, be like, yo, something had to happen.
But I'm not talking about anybody watching.
Okay, well, for me.
But from that, for you to say it made you think that, that's why I'm like, yo, cause for me, I would never think that about you because you've never shown me that before, right? So you going back to your reasoning for being pessimistic, right? They've shown you this over this long period of time. I've shown you this for over this long period of time. Never acted that way towards you. You've never acted that way towards me. So even if it was the roles were reversed, I would never think you was trying to bullshit me because you never bullshitted me before. I've never bullshitted you before, so why would I start bullshitting you now because we recording on camera?
No, because like I said, once you said that this was going somewhere else, I'm trying to figure out what was different than 9 weeks ago.
Like I said,
9 weeks straight, I've been saying the same thing.
And if you go watch, I go watch the episode when we were talking about Meghan Markle.
That was last week.
All right. So
2 weeks ago.
And anybody, it was 2 weeks ago. Anybody who watched that episode or can point out when you were saying that, I kept asking you what you mean. You kept going. It was a passionate conversation. Right. You were yelling. All you said
was she can't give herself to him, and I said yes, she can. Because he gave herself to her. You dealing with them. You dealing with them on a one-on-one. Then you said you was in an interracial relationship. And I brought up the fact that my in-laws at first didn't like me. And I said this wasn't white or black. You said it wasn't the same. I ain't never been in no interracial relationship, so I don't care about you thinking it's something different or nothing.
But the conversation why I said it was different was because the whole issue was based around the fact that there was an interracial relationship. That's the only reason why there was issue.
Okay, well, guess what?
That's why
I'm saying this, period. If you know the history of those people, they didn't like that he fucking fell in love with her.
I mean, I'm cool.
Period. But the whole thing was you waited till tonight.
I didn't wait till anything.
Okay,
when it felt like that's what I'm saying. That's why I said what I said just now. That's why I feel like, don't play me like that, because I've never done that. I've never done that to you.
Okay, but you just sat here and said
I've never held nothing.
It was going somewhere else, and but for 9 weeks you saying you understood, but now tonight
I'm talking about 34 years of experience with me. I have never let you say something to me over and over again and be like, okay, one way, and then flip it. When I had
okay,
this.
But it's a first for everything.
All right.
That's why I look at you like, hold on.
No.
You sit here saying you understand for 9 weeks. Now all of a sudden you saying you don't understand.
I don't know. Me personally, I'm looking at if the roles were reversed, I would not. You lost me when you said it got to be somebody saying something to you. Like, that ain't never been our relationship. That ain't how I ever have gotten. I'm saying that's never how we've gotten down.
But that if I didn't say that, that would mean me front for the camera and in front of you.
Yeah, but I'm
gonna tell you how I feel.
Right,
like
you telling me how you feel.
Like I told you,
it's crazy.
Hold on, it ain't crazy. That's truth.
And it's truth to me that's crazy. That you would even think that would be a possibility. After we sat here and told, and I meant what I said as far as, if me and my brother got an issue, it's nobody that can say nothing about me and my brother. You ain't talking.
That ain't you and your brother.
No, it is. Because if somebody was to say something to me about things that you talking on this episode, that's them coming to me about my brother. Can't nobody do that.
Yeah, but it's not coming to you in a manner of, yo, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to do something to your brother, or, you know what I'm saying? It could be simple, like, yo, what's up? Your brother got an issue with me?
Nobody can say that.
Hold on. A person can say that.
I'm just...
that ain't disrespect.
Right.
They're asking a question. And then you could be sitting there saying, yo, you know what? I don't know. And you know what?
But you think...
This conversation right now, where it's going, ain't for the camera.
But I'm just saying, it's
really not, because
but
the way I'm going to explain it to you, you will understand what I'm saying, and then we can leave it at that.
But I don't understand, like, if you really thought that ever happened.
Yeah, because you said...
You think that I would bring that up on camera?
Hold on. You didn't bring it up in the manner of... The way you brought it up was, time out. I need clarity. So I'm like, you need clarity for what? When you sit here saying you understand. Then you try to make it seem like I was changing the narrative over something that I've been saying. I didn't change nothing. I've been saying straight up and down that we don't need to be dealing with them, and they need to go ahead, leave us alone. Period, point blank.
I got you.
And I make it known that, number one, I have white friends. I got white friends that's watching.
But like you say, that's
and
something
they
that you
know,
don't even have to say.
But I'm saying it anyway. And they know how I feel. Because I will walk in the room and hear them talking and be like, yo, you know you ain't white. And people will tell you that. Because that's me. That's my duty, to civilize the uncivilized. And to make known to those who don't know, to make that known. And that's what I talk about, going along to get along. Yeah, I understand. But you don't understand. If you don't understand, ask. And it would have been explained 9 episodes ago.
Like I said.
And you wouldn't be sitting here 9 weeks later trying to figure out, is he going to change the narrative? What we're talking about?
No, like I said, I thought I had an understanding of what you were saying. Tonight, I was like, okay, let me get clarity. And that was just what it was.
Right.
Like I said, ain't nothing scripted with this show. So that's why, to me, like, you saying that, I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. To me.
Because you're taking it away.
I'm taking it that way because it's crazy to me that you would even feel that would be a possibility. Like, that whole, like, thought that would even...
That's something within you, because...
It is. I just said that. It says to me.
But that don't make no sense, because...
It does to me.
If you understand what I'm saying, are you clear on what I'm saying?
Have you ever thought you were clear on something, and then you get to the point where you were like, okay, nah, I may have missed something, so I need clarification?
If I wasn't clear on something, the minute...
But you don't know. The minute you're unclear is today. I was unclear. But up until that point...
What you said was...
I thought I understood.
But you said I was changing the narrative.
All right. Take changing the narrative out of it. Like I said, I thought I was clear up until tonight.
Okay.
And then I said, hold up.
Fine.
All right. So nobody can't tell me they ain't never been in a situation where you thought you understood, and you get to the point where... All right, well, this is getting a little bit hazy for me right now. Let me ask a question. That's all I did. Like, what the fuck I gotta bullshit you for?
I didn't say you bullshit.
You did say that.
What I said is I see through bullshit, and
you were referring to what I said. So you saying that was bullshit.
That's what it felt like.
So don't say that you ain't say I was bullshit.
I said I could read through bullshit, and I know it's people out there that probably feel away, and maybe they said something.
And that's what I'm saying to you.
So, all right, what I told you.
Right.
I didn't beat around the bush about the shit.
And I'm not beating around the bush.
All right, then,
so like I said, this is my energy for 34 years. That's what I'm saying. Why the fuck would I change now?
Listen,
that's my point.
Like I said, I don't know. But
exactly. That's exactly my point. You don't know. Because it don't make sense. Why
I
would you do that?
I don't know. I'm not saying you...
Right, because you know right now you don't know. I didn't know until tonight when you said what you said. Whatever it was in me, tonight I was like, all right, you may not understand what you think you understand. So I asked a question. I never thought asking a question would be like, oh, this motherfucker been bullshitting me this whole time.
I never said that.
That's what you just said. You said you see through the bullshit.
Hold on.
All right.
I didn't say you was bullshitting me. What I'm saying is this. You made it seem like you understood. And that's why I said what I said, and I'm going to say it again. You saying you understand who you are, right? Mm-hmm. It's your duty to teach those who don't know and to know who they are and teach them. So therefore, it wouldn't be a conversation of, yo, what are we talking about? And that's why I told you, and I said this too on this podcast. People go to school, but they being taught certain things, but they really don't want to know the truth. They want to sit around and be like, yeah, I know, or I don't want to deal with it. And then say, I dealt with it. When your whole life you ain't never dealt with nothing. Then that, I'm not talking about you personally. What I'm saying is, people sit here and be like, yo, I heard that, but like I don't care about that.
I mean, all of that.
Where that ain't me.
All of that I understood. I mean, and to sit here, you saying I ain't.
Anybody watching this shit could know it ain't scripted because you said what you said and I said what I said. Yeah. Period, point blank. I don't, like I always said, I don't pull no punches.
Neither do I. And you saying that, you're not saying that I was bullshitting you. That's not true. You did say that because you said you've been sitting here for 9 weeks and I knew you was going to get to it. That's why I kept saying it. So you thought I was bullshitting you. That's my point.
No, what I said was I got calls that people were saying he don't understand.
And right, so people were calling you. So you
and that goes to what you said.
Right.
That it ain't getting back to you. And I'm telling you that I'm saying he understand because he's sitting there saying he understand.
My point is this, right? You taking the things that's happening on your end and you're projecting that to me. Like, oh, these people calling me and doing this stuff, so I know people calling him, and this is maybe why he's saying this now, because a bunch of people calling me and saying this, somebody got to be calling him and saying, or talking to him and saying that. That's what you did.
If that's how you want to take it, all right.
I mean, but
I'm fine with it.
I mean, it don't really matter. But like, what's the name? Like, what I'm saying
but
is,
that's what it seemed like, and I said what I felt it seemed like.
All right. So that's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like you don't know me. That's what it seemed like to me.
The fact that whether I know you or not, don't exclude the fact that somebody could have asked you something, and you like, nah.
Right, but if you know me and somebody asked me something, you know I wouldn't do that on camera.
But you could. What you did wasn't nothing fucked up.
All right, that would be fucked up if
you asked the question.
Yeah, but if I asked a question on camera that was provoked by a private conversation about things that me and you talked about, that you like.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Right. You right. If it was something personal, we talking about something that's on camera, that's worldwide. So therefore, if somebody did ask you the question, they in their right to ask you that question, number one, to see what your response is going to be. And if you sitting there and you don't know, but you sitting on the podcast saying you know, and then instead of you calling and saying, yo, I don't know, I really don't understand, it would have been totally different. But the way it happened, it was like, yo, you trying to change the narrative, and yo, I'm kind of lost here. Wait a minute, I ain't changing no narrative. I've been saying the same thing for 9 weeks.
So because it happened organically, in my opinion, like if it was something
and
that I didn't understand,
everything happened organically.
Right. So my thing is,
like I played you.
My thing is, if I genuinely didn't understand, there's like.
My question was, why would you say you understood?
Right, and what I'm explaining, but I thought I did. I don't understand how you don't understand that. Because, like, we literally, and I'm not going to put our business out there, but we literally had conversations where I talk to you about stuff, you say you understand, and we get 10, 15 minutes into the conversation, and you realize you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Because you changed the narrative.
No, it's not. I'm talking about private conversation. I'm not changing no narrative.
If you change the narrative in the conversation, if we talking about something and then you start changing the narrative, I have to be like, hold on, time out. And I do this with people all the time that know me. I'll be like, yo, hold on, time out. You lost me.
Right, but I'm not saying I'm not changing no narrative though. But what I'm saying to you is the relationship that we have. How would you think I would sit here for 9 weeks and just be like, yeah, I understand?
Because
with the amount of vulnerability that we have in our relationship.
Because you have been saying you understand. And
so I thought I understood.
Okay, but now peep it. Somebody watching this is saying to themselves, and have the nerve to call me.
Mhm.
They're not being disrespectful to you.
Right.
They're not being disrespectful to me.
Mhm.
They're saying, hold on, Wes. You being who you are,
Mhm.
he's not understanding you.
Because,
And maybe I'm gonna put it this way. It's my fault for not approaching you like, yo, do you understand what you're saying you understand?
so my thing is this, right? So the person who's saying that they don't understand that what you were saying.
No, they
no,
didn't say
no,
it.
no. They don't think I understood what you were saying.
Yeah,
You
they're
saying
like,
you
yo,
being yourself.
he's not understanding.
That person, in my opinion,
They were right.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Because you said that you're being you, right?
Right.
I didn't understand that you're being you.
Hmm?
That person didn't listen to anything I said.
What do you mean?
Because the whole time I said you're not wrong, and I understand why you feel the way you feel. I just said I didn't feel that way. So that's why I said that person didn't listen to what I said.
You said that about Meghan Markle. I'm talking about for 9 weeks I've been saying the same thing.
Right, and
And
I never said
every
I never condemned you for your feelings.
No,
so how can they say that?
Chris, listen to me, please.
Okay.
You're saying for 9 weeks, y'all understand? You right. You right. Yes, you right. We have to do that. But where does it start? This, that, and the third. You're agreeing and you're adding on to the bill. Where does it start? This, that, and the third. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even like, and they like, yo, hold on. Y'all having a conversation, but he's not understanding when you're saying that, yo, we need to build out, step on each other's feet, knees, shoulders, head, to get where we gotta go. We gotta be all inclusive with us. When I brought up the Jews, and I said to you, after you said the oppressor, and you don't want to beg for reparations, I said, look at the Jews. They stick together. Then I brought up the LGBTQ community. Like, yo, guess what? They're not looking at nobody that's against them and wanting to be inclusive with them. Mm-hmm. So right then, you could have said, hold on. What do you mean? Because when I've been saying the same thing.
Like I said, you think you've been saying the same thing. For me, tonight, it confused me. So that's why I said I need a clarification.
Right. But now, a person that's seeing this and saying, yo, I don't think he understands why.
But I think that's...
They're not wrong.
Because
they ended up being right.
Okay, so they did end up being right. But what I'll say is to you is this, right? So that also depends on what that person is looking to get out of the episode too, right? Because you also will have people that say the opposite, right? And it just depends on the background of that person, their relationship or understanding of what I'm talking about, and things of that sort. So, like when you talk about people, like I really don't care what anybody says on the outside, as far as like whether you do it sound like you know what you're talking about, whether it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Whether they can't understand why you don't understand what I'm saying, whether they don't understand why I can't understand what you're saying, because we get both, right? But that stuff don't matter to me because they're not in the conversation, and it's slanted because anybody that's gonna come to me, in most situations, if somebody I talk to, they're gonna understand where I'm coming from. Mostly, if somebody from your era that deals with you, they don't understand where you come from.
See, you talking about errors and errors.
That impacted though.
No,
it does a little bit.
No, because you got young people that's saying the same thing.
Right, and they
like, yo, hold on, nah.
But what I'm saying is, error impacts to a certain extent.
You got to look
at
it.
hold
on, and I understand where people on my end come from, because a lot of people deal with different things, and they on it like, yo, you as a master builder, you need to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to build with him and let him understand, because he's not understanding.
Right. And I'll be the first to tell you, like we're not talking about all of the teachings and lessons and things like that. I don't understand that. But what I'm talking about,
I don't get into that.
Right. I know. But what I'm telling you is when I say I'm not telling you I understand something if I don't think I understand something. I'm not that type of person.
Right. But then that's why I'm saying to you, it wouldn't have never been no misunderstanding, because you would know that, yo, hold on, like I said tonight before you said it, Martin Luther King had people that marched with him that were white, that understood the oppression and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Malcolm X went across seas and saw that there were people that were, like I said, once again, I'm saying white, but their complexion had less melanin than what we have.
Yeah.
That he was saying, like, hold on. That's when he really understood, and he said it. Yo, I understand that, everybody ain't like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you saying you understand and you know who you are and you know this, that, and the third, I'm just going on because I'm thinking you understand.
But, like, to say that, right, and this is why I say I need a clarification. Because what you just said, Malcolm X said, I said, in other words, when we were talking about Meghan Markle. And that's why I said I give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, that's why I said I thought I was understanding at that point. Because I said I give people the benefit of the doubt because everybody's not like that. What I'll say is appears to be white. Since you're breaking down white as only white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Right? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah,
you
went to school.
So what's the name?
They taught you that in school.
What's the name? Like, school means nothing, and we can get into that too. Like, you keep bringing that shit up. I don't even talk about me going to college like that. But
I ain't talking about college.
I'm just saying, you went to school too.
Okay, but then you learned that in school.
What I'm saying is, school, and we talked about what they teach in school, like, that really doesn't mean that much. Okay. So, with people that appear to be white, damn, you made me lose my damn train of thought.
Not all of them want to see you brought that up on the podcast with the Meghan Markle thing.
Right. So what my point is, what I was saying, I said that on that episode. You told me that I was bugging for thinking that way. But now you're saying, and this is why I said I need a clarification tonight, because when I said that then, I was tripping. Okay. And maybe it was because it was a passionate conversation. You may not have heard me, but like I said, go watch it.
No, I heard what you said.
Right.
And once again, I'm going to ask you, after that, when you wasn't clear on what you was talking about, the Meghan Markle situation, which I brought up about the whole Princess Diana. Did you go back and do the research on that?
I knew the Princess Diana situation.
Okay, so then why would Meghan Markle go in there thinking something different when the beef with her was that she was dealing with original people?
I agreed with you when you said that.
Okay then, so why would she give anybody the benefit of the doubt when they showed you they don't like black people?
What I'm saying to you is this, right? She fell in love with the son. So what I said on that episode was she couldn't, and maybe the benefit of the doubt is too strong of a term for you.
We don't need to go back to it because you said it. But what I'm saying is, and everybody heard what you said.
Yeah.
But
if they heard what I said, I don't understand.
Off top, I came to you and I said my rebuttal to that was not only their history with not dealing with or wanting to deal with black people, period. Mm-hmm. In this country, you have been shown one thing by a majority for more than 400 years.
All right.
What would make anything change?
Right. So that's my point, right? So you said in this country you've been shown by a majority, right? That's what you said, right? In this country, right?
Right.
Would you say the majority that shows you that in this country is all white Anglo-Saxon Protestants? No, right? Because this country deals with just the pigment of the skin, right?
What they deal with, yes, and the people that are not of that ethnicity, they feel like, yo, guess what? Why do I want to be down here or be treated in a manner which some of them are?
So what my point to that is, and why I said I needed clarification, because tonight, like I said, I thought I understood. I won't say I understood. I thought I understood up until tonight, which is why I said I understood. But then tonight, I'm like, okay, because everything is relating back to America. We're talking about the George Floyd trial, right? Everything's relating back to America. You saying it's not all black and white, but when you say...
No, you're going to have to make 2 episodes.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
It's 1:30.
Yeah, but what's the name? You when you say white, if we're dealing with this country, you're not dealing with white Anglo-Saxon Protestant if you're talking about America, right? Because like you said,
not all, you're right.
right. So that's why I needed clarification. That's why I asked what I asked. So I don't understand how, like, yo, and like you said, once you broke it down, now I'm clear. Because when we talking about this country and what's considered white, my wife is considered white in this country.
Hold on, let me tell you. Have I or have I not said, it all goes back to education and knowing who you are as a person and where you come from.
Right, but you also say, when you reference in this country, people don't know that, right?
Correct.
Right, so what I'm saying to you is, the only reason I needed clarification and why I stopped you is because I was blurring the lines. The lines were being blurred for me was whether you were referring to white people as what they identify with, right? What that person identifies with versus what they actually are.
It's a combination
right.
of both.
So that's why I needed clarification.
Okay, but here's my thing. You sat here after the fact and said you know, and you know you, and you know your job is as the supreme being in here, right? To educate. So therefore, you wouldn't have had no misunderstanding because the conversation would have been to your wife or anybody else.
But there was no conversation needed for that. That's what I'm saying.
Then what you need clarity for?
For myself.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you is if you know what I'm talking about, if you know who you are, hold on, if you know who you are and you know histories and things of that nature, then it wouldn't have been no misclarity because you would know that your wife ethnicity in America, yeah, they viewed as white, but they viewed as the poor whites.
But what I'm saying to you is, for me, I needed clarification on that. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you.
All right.
So like that's why I don't understand like how that can be viewed as me like holding something. Like tonight was the first like epiphany that I got. Like, oh, maybe I'm not understanding what he's talking about as far as white people.
All right.
So I needed that clarification. That is not provoked by somebody saying something to me.
Okay, you made that clear.
So like that's where my issue with that came from. Like I'm like, hold on, wait. We had to pivot. Because I was like, wait, we can't.
That's not a pivot though.
No, we did have to pivot because that needed to be clear, and I still don't think it's clear. I still think you feel like somebody might have said something to me, and that's why I said that. But I don't operate.
If I felt that way, I would have told you. Stop thinking for me and stop saying.
You said that.
Hold on. I said it. What I said. Yeah, I said it. But then you cleared it out. So stop fucking talking about the shit, saying I still don't think it's clear, because I still think that if I thought that, I would say it.
All right. You thought that for 9 weeks, you didn't say it tonight.
No, what I said was, people thought that, and I said, no, he understands. He's saying he understands. That's what the fuck I said.
Right. I don't understand why you get hostile.
Because you keep sitting here talking about, yo, I still don't believe that it ain't clear. I said it's clear. Right. I said what I said. I don't bite my tongue, and I don't care if you felt the way about it. You shouldn't have, because guess what? For 9 weeks, if I tell you I understand something, and I'm feeling like it directly is affecting me or my situation, I'm not waiting 9 weeks.
Right, and I didn't feel that way until tonight. I was just like,
well,
okay,
like I said, now that's the only thing that I won't understand is how.
But I don't understand how you don't understand that when you've been in that situation.
I was changing the narrative.
You've been in that same situation.
Okay, I hear you.
With me.
You can try and make it seem the way it is.
No, I'm saying. I'm not trying to.
That's why you said what you said, that I was changing the narrative.
What?
That's what you said, you was unclear because I was changing the narrative.
It felt like that.
Okay. When I say it to you, it's because the narrative is being changed, so I got to stop you. Hold on. What are we saying? Oh, okay. Now I'm on board. Okay, I understand. Period, point blank. Period. It ain't nothing wrong if somebody did say something to you.
No, it ain't. It isn't. But my point is to you is in that matter. I'm not saying it would be wrong if somebody said something. What I'm saying is that's never how I've operated with you.
Chris, I'm not saying you never had no reason to.
Yeah, I could have.
Okay, well.
But what I'm saying is that's never been a situation.
If you could have and you didn't, that's on you.
No, it's not. Because it's not on me. It's on us. And we have a relationship to the point where it's like, yo, I'm not going to let something outside of me and you provoke a conversation that me and you have. If I didn't feel,
That's happened before.
No. If I didn't feel a way about a situation, anything that I've ever brought to you is because I felt a way about a situation. It's never been because somebody else felt a way about a situation and I didn't feel that way. Now, it could have been I felt that way and somebody else felt that way.
Okay, so
But my point is it's never been exclusively initiated by an outside source. What you said tonight is
we're not gonna keep
all right,
going
so
back and forth 'cause it's
I mean, evidently we do, but you're not understanding that.
Like I said, you saying I don't understand. I understand it wholeheartedly.
You just said
You know
you
what I
did.
mean? No, what I'm saying is I understand what you said, and I said what I said. Period. And obviously, the people that was telling me, yo, he don't understand, they were right. And
Yeah,
I'm
no.
giving, in a sense, well, I'm going to say it, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
that you was understanding exactly what I was saying, because
Right.
my narrative has not changed, and it won't change.
Right. And I mean, and like I said, them understanding where you were coming from, that's why I said it depends on what that source is. Like, young or old, right? They're speaking on the same plane as you, right? So people that may speak on the same plane as me can understand things that I'm saying. That's the beauty of us coming together, because we don't.
No, everybody understand. What you missing is this. Everybody that watched the podcast that I know get everything, but they watched to the point where they saying, "Yo, why he's not understanding." And that was the only thing they had to say about it. And other things that they feel that, yo, as far as, you know, yo, we can watch Sports Center for sports and y'all can dibble and dab with that shit. But other than that, the only real issue was, yo, why he's not understanding that. And if you do get into lessons and things of that nature, please, if you do, make it simple where he can understand it and he can respond to that. Don't get into that. Period. Unless he's going to study those lessons so he can understand.
And I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Like, and that's why I don't talk about things that I know you don't dabble in.
As far as what?
Anything that you're not interested in.
Like what?
Pick. Like, I do a lot of things that you don't do.
Like what?
All right, for instance, like working out. That's like you don't.
I don't do CrossFit.
I don't do CrossFit all the time.
Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with
But what I'm saying is you don't. It's not the same. I'll just say that things that I do things that you're not interested in. So like the things that.
As far as what? You can't make a statement and then say what I'm not interested in. As far as what?
Do you like wrestling?
It's okay. I can do without it.
All right. So
that's one thing.
All right. So what you talking about is one thing too.
Okay, but that's something that you speaking on something that a majority of the people that looking at this podcast wouldn't want to talk about. They wouldn't want to hear us talk about it if I did watch wrestling. Right.
But what I'm saying to you is there's also a demographic but I'm open to what you talking about the lessons. There's a demographic a large demographic that wouldn't understand the lessons either
But you're right. And that's why I choose not to speak on it.
Right.
But like when you,
what I'm saying is, I'm not, because I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying the lessons are wrong or anything like that. What I'm saying to you is, you saying like, yo, he wouldn't understand or things like that. I can't talk to you about that. So that's why you don't bring it up. I'm just saying like on both sides, we have things that we may be passionate about and can elaborate on that the other may not be as like knowledgeable about, so we don't talk about those things.
Yeah, but that's not true, because if you want to talk about wrestling on an episode, it don't take nothing for me to go and do the history on what you want to talk about where I can contribute to the shit.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
You could.
I can study the lessons.
You won't be able to study the lessons and be able to talk about them in an episode.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's something totally different, and that's why I say what I deal with is straight up education, and I don't wait for things to happen for me to want to know about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've done different things. Like you wanted to go into religion and stuff like that. Like a lot of people don't want to get into that because I'm gonna be real about the religion. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I don't know if you really want to get into, because I'm not sure if you really sharp as far as dealing with religion.
No,
and
I was
stuff
gonna
like
let
that.
you. I'll be flat out. I'm not sharp with the religion. I have my feelings about certain things, but you know way more in that regard than me. And that's why I say, like, if I don't understand something, I'm going to tell you I don't understand. Or if I feel like I don't understand, I'm
But
going to tell you.
that's a different narrative than what we're talking about tonight.
But I know, and that's what I'm saying. Up until tonight, I felt like I understood, so I said I understood. Right? If I don't understand, I'm not going to sit here and say I understand. I've never been like that.
Well, now you know. You know what I mean? And that's why the narrative has never changed, because I've been saying the same thing over and over again, and that's why I always use the application.
Right? Like when you said, you said another, because somebody hit me and was laughing, because they was like, you asked me some question, and I was like, nah, I don't know what you mean by that. So I don't, and it was actually the same episode, the same Meghan Markle episode. I forgot what it was you asked me, but somebody was like, yo, you cracked me up, because it was like, your face got serious, like you thought about it, and you was like, nah, I don't know what you mean. So I don't understand how you could think I would sit here in front and say that I understand if I really didn't understand. When I gave you...
But you're taking it as you fronting.
How is that not fronting if I'm saying I understand and I don't?
No, because, listen to me. The fact that you understand, it's very easy for you to understand, and then somebody else, you might not be able to explain something that you understand. That somebody
you
else...
You understand if you can't explain it then.
That's not true. You could understand something, and like, it's certain stocks that I understand why they should be invested in, as far as things that they are producing and they putting out to the public and things of that nature, that people make people buy into it and things of that nature, but I can't explain it.
I think
To
that's
the
being
level,
familiar.
to a level that would make you want to buy the stock and things of that nature. But I understand.
I think that's being familiar. I think that's familiar.
No, it's a thing called knowing, and you have knowledge, then you have the wisdom of it, and then the understanding brings all of that together.
Right. So that's my point. You saying understanding is the last step. So if I'm saying I understand, if you understand something, you can explain it to somebody. Because if that's the last step.
But obviously, when you said tonight that you needed clarity, that's why I said what I said. Because it had to be a situation where you was understanding, but then you had to explain and couldn't explain. So now, if it come up, I got to ask the question.
No, that's not what
well,
happened.
All right,
that's
we clear on that now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you saying like if you understand.
You're making it seem so far fetched that like somebody playing you by saying it was a conversation and that's why you brought it up.
Yeah, to me that is playing me because
that's an insecurity that you got that I ain't.
Maybe because from in my case, if I'm like if I know you. If I got 34 years of experience with you, any other time you haven't known anything, like you ain't never been shy about telling me what you don't know, asking me, and this is 34 years.
You're making my point.
So what I'm saying to you is, if I say I understand and then I come back and say I don't understand, it's legit.
Okay, but you're making my point. If somebody outside is telling me that they're looking at the episodes and they're feeling that you don't understand, and I'm telling them, yo, nah, he understands, he's saying he understands. That's me dealing with you for 34 years of your whole life, saying that if he didn't understand, he would have been said he don't understand.
I get that, but that's not what you said on the episode tonight.
You.
That's not what you said on the episode, though.
Because I said, yo, I can read through bullshit, because I'm saying, yo, there's no way he don't understand.
So you telling me I was bullshitting?
What I'm saying, at the time, I thought you was bullshit until you explained that, yo, nah, I was thinking, because you said I was changing the narrative. I wasn't changing no narrative. I've been saying the same thing for 9 weeks.
Right. Like I said.
And we keep repeating ourselves, so let's end the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you how I could.
Yo, we've been on, because we're going to have this conversation off air if you want to keep, because I'm not going to stand on this camera no longer. This episode's like 4 hours, man.
Ain't 4 hours. It's just over 3 hours. I'm just
like
I said. I didn't get that.
All right. Well,
all right. This is 8672 podcast. It's Chris.
It's Wise. Peace.
Peace.